All right, we have Pat Ganino. I said it right. And before we even start, thank you very much for this basketball here. Dennis Rodman on it, signed signature. The 350,000 subscriber will get this. We'll go through them from 300 to 350. We'll go through them, and that's who will get the ball. Thank you to Patrick. I really appreciate it. Hell of a man. You've worked with tons of celebrities, TV, magazines, charity, you name it. Chevy Chase, Hulk Hogan, Mike Tyson. The list goes on and on, which we'll get to all that. Thank you for being here.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Absolutely. So you were just in Nashville, right?
I was.
How was Nashville?
I don't remember. No, it was great.
He said, I don't remember.
It was awesome.
What was it?
Great place.
I heard that they're really nice. I have a friend, Matt Cox, who goes there all the time, which is the last person I would think that would go there.
You know what it is? You don't realize how small that stretch of Broadway is. So you can hit it from the top to bottom 2-3 times. Not really, but it's short. I mean, you can get through it. And the music is just nonstop from morning till night, and the drinks and the energy. I mean, it's amazing.
Fucking crazy.
I love it.
So you went right from there to Florida.
Yep.
And now you're here doing this. And then where do you go from here?
So I'm going from here to my cousin Mike Mackey's house on Fort Worth, the other side. My aunt's there, he's there, his wife, my uncle. And I sent down a mural that I'm going to stretch in his house, and I'm going to paint it there to have a little break, kind of work and play.
Okay. Before we get into how you got to where you're at, your website's too good. Can you pull up tab 1?
Yeah, we'll pull up.
Now, when you get into all that, when you say mural, right, what is the difference between a mural and a painting of a person? Like, what is a mural to somebody like me who just knows a painting?
I think I classify it more as like the difference between being a fine artist and a mural artist, right? So as a fine artist, you know, you go out there and you create some artwork, and then you show it to you and you and you, and you try to sell it, right? What I do is I sell my product before I even paint it. So you come and say, I have this wall, I want you to paint this on it. I go, here's the price. If you give me half up front, I'll do some designs and I'll actually paint it. So I'm never, ever going to be a starving artist because I set myself up properly. So that's what I think a mural artist is.
So a mural would kind of be like almost, this sounds weird, but like a drop ship. Like a drop ship. So like if you don't have it made, I come to you and I say, hey, I want this made. Now you're going to make it and you ship it. Yeah,
so like it could be a building, right?
Yeah.
So it could be something like a 12-story building. It could be a wall in your living room. It could be any kind of public art, right? What I started doing about 8-9 years ago is instead of painting these directly on the wall of his inside, I would do them on canvas, ship them down to wherever they go throughout the country, hire a wallpaper installer, and have them installed on the wall where it looks like it was painted directly. Because then I can do multiple projects at once. I can start whenever I want, stop. I'm not in someone's house, keeps the overhead down, and you know, it's just easier.
Wow, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Because I never knew what the difference between, just somebody who's not an artist and does what you do. Because you think of a painting. What did you know what a mural was? And don't even say yeah.
Yes.
Go home. Just kidding. All right, let's take a look at this awesome website. So this is Creative Evolution. And if you want to talk a little bit about it, Patrick?
Yeah, I mean, the name alone, I mean, is something that, is derived actually down in Florida. I started down in Boca, and it was me and this buddy, Justin Kusoff. And we were like, we're going to paint murals. I was valeting cars at the time. I was just parking cars. And I got to tell you, it's my favorite job ever. I loved it. You know what I mean? I was driving Lexuses, whatever car. It was amazing for an 18-year-old kid. And one of the places where we valeted, I was like, hey, do you want to get a mural on your wall? And they were like, yeah. And so I got this kid, Justin, and we're like, we're going to call it like Creative Evolution. Like we thought it was like wicked cool, So we made up little cars and we did this mural on the side of the building. It's a little restaurant. And then we went to him. We're like, "What do you think?" He's like, "I like it a lot." We're like, "All right, it's like $2,000." He's like, "No." I realized I probably should give him the price before I start. So he gave us whatever he gave us. I learned a very hard lesson, but it was good.
It was a good thing.
That was the beginning.
Go to the media and just some of the things he's done. Work. Go to work.
Work.
Yeah, right there. You've been on Rob Report. When I saw that, I said, "Wow." That's on the press.
Judge Judy's house.
Tyson, Hogan, Alex Gronkowski.
Nice guy. The whole family's nice.
Did he sign back with Tampa?
Not yet.
I don't
free
think
agent
so.
still.
Yeah.
Still a free agent.
Yeah, he'll probably go back.
He's going back, right?
Why not?
Yeah, he's got to.
You have that kind of energy, man. You're just bored.
Yeah, and he's so tough.
Yeah.
Carmen
Chevy
Electra,
Chase.
Chevy Chase.
There he is, Uncle Paulie.
Uncle Paulie.
One of the nicest guys in the world.
Love it. Dennis.
John Daly.
How is he, John Daly?
He was a nice guy. I actually didn't meet him personally until years after. I was hired from the Dave Faraday show to do a mural in his living room. And that was one where I did it on canvas, shipped it to Arkansas, and installed it in his house. And we ended up going, at that time he had owned the golf course across the street, and his brother and his daughters worked there. And I remember driving around the little golf carts with the daughters, cute little blondes. And we went to this local bar, and it was just like, you were in like the backwoods, different world.
Middle of nowhere type of thing?
Middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
You go to his house, it's beautiful. Everything else is like dust.
Yeah. And then you were on Bar Rescue, Kitchen Nightmares, all that we'll get to. Now, Judge Judy, click on that, Rob.
Right.
Now, how does one get contacted by Judge Judy to paint her house?
I mean, that's kind of where really, I would say the celebrities started. It's weird. You know what? I was teaching like class. I was doing murals, and at this time it was like really before YouTube. So you could have classes and teach people how to do faux finishing and murals, and you could charge, $1,200 a person for a 4-day class, get 10, 20 people in there and bank, So I did this class for these wallpaper guys. Wallpaper was kind of going out of style at the time, and they were these old, they all had like white beards. This is before beards were popular, man. This is just like the wallpaper style, And they want to learn how to do the faux finishing. They want to learn how to make things look like wood or glaze and so on and so forth. So they came and I did a little class. And this one guy, I think his name was Bill, I get a call maybe 8 months later, and they're like, hey, we have a project you want you to look at in Greenwich. It's for, the judge. And I was like, whatever, no big deal.
No idea what judge,
No
right?
idea.
Yeah.
This house is like in mid-construction. So I go down, and it's this massive 20,000 square foot house. They're still not telling me who it is yet either.
Did you know it was 20,000 square feet that you're about to deal with?
Oh, listen, when I looked at it, I was like this. Then they came up with the paperwork, and they were like, listen, here's the deal. And it was like I want to say it was like a $120,000 job for us, right? And then the paperwork came, and I had never signed a contract that detailed them. I was like, what's going on here, man? What judge is it? And it was like, you have 45 days to finish a project. Every day over, you get charged back $10,000. I was like, what? And then it started coming out. It was Judy Shineland and blah, 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 blah. And I was like, all right, cool. It was a great project. I ended up hiring like 7 people because I was like, we are not going over 30 days.
Yeah.
But that was crazy too, because we rented out like a bunch of rooms in some like crappy motel in Stanford. And so we'd go to work all day, 7 days a week. We'd come home late at night, and we had the rooms they were opposite in the hallway. There were a couple of them. And we'd come home one night, and we would stop in Stanford. We have a couple beers, and we'd come home nice and loose. We come up to the room, and like there's wires going from the doors, right? And we open the doors, and like all our shit's gone. There's like cameras in there and stuff. And so we go downstairs. We're like, hey, what's going on there? They're like, oh, I'm sorry. We're actually filming a movie here with De Niro.
What?
We had to move all your stuff up to the 3rd floor or whatever it was. So we go up to the 3rd floor, and the rooms are now opposite, but everything's set up literally perfectly opposite. It's like, it was mind-blowing. It was a little weird. And then when we stalked De Niro, we waited outside until he came out.
Did you get to meet him? No.
In and out, bro. We're De Niro, It was
So you get the gig. You have no idea what judge it is.
No.
You get there. It's 20,000 square feet. You're like, oh, okay, 20,000 square feet. Okay, this is interesting.
Yeah.
You get in, middle of nowhere other than there.
Mm-hmm.
You have to hire guys. Then you realize if it's not done on time, you're getting charged,
Yeah,
right?
unbelievable.
And then you go to work, and De Niro's doing a movie when you're on a deadline.
It was a weird experience, man. The whole thing was wild. And then she came in probably halfway through the project, and she's a tiny lady, And she had just signed her first $300 million syndication deal. I mean, so she was happy.
I bet she was.
Super sweet lady, very nice to me. And I was actually working.
Well, you're painting her house.
I was doing nice. I was making, listen, everybody's always happy. I make things look pretty. I got the easy job.
Yeah.
But she's in her office, and some sort of contractor or some tradesman on the job, it's fucked something up bad. And then I heard the Judge Judy you see on TV, and she just laid into him, and I was just like this. I was like, you know what I mean? You're just doing your thing, like,
Patrick, I like her, but I'll tell you what, if I saw her as my judge, I'd go to my lawyer. Plea, no trial with this one. Nope.
Out.
Whatever she is willing to plead, I'll take it and let's run. When you...
Yeah, she was a little scary, man. When I first met her, I was like, oh, she's so sweet. And then I saw her act like that, and I was like, I'm going to stay away. I'm going to do a good job.
She's one of those judges, like, if you're guilty, you're not getting out of it.
No empathy.
No empathy.
No empathy.
You're done.
Yeah.
And whatever the higher end is, you're going to get.
That's it. Yeah.
So you do that. That's awesome.
That turned into, I ended up making friends with this guy, Ed, who was a part of this company called Armorfo. It's not even around anymore, I don't think. And they were trying to sell us in these plasters. because the home is so big, it's a big money project for this company to sell us these tubs of plaster to do different textures and so forth. And so we ended up buying for them. I created a relationship with them, and they actually passed me on to Rosie O'Donnell, who was moving back from Chicago to Jersey. She had just, gotten out of her contract with Oprah. She was doing I think it was like some Oprah show or something like that didn't pan out. And so we started doing houses for her. And it just starts propelling at that point. And you start getting branched out more and more, It was cool.
Do you know what we were talking about Howard before we started? Why does he hate her so much?
He doesn't anymore. They're friends now.
Oh, they're friends now?
Yep, they're friends now.
Why did he hate her so much? Do you remember?
You know what? You got two big ego, personality, opinionated individuals, man. And earlier on, I believe both of them just did not have the capability of backing down. You know what I mean?
Like grudge and nobody's going to give in.
No. Blue, I like green, and nobody's going to be like, all right, blue's kind of cool. You know what I mean? Like when you get older, you're just kind of like, who cares?
Yeah,
I think he's like that and
yeah.
she's like that. I mean, he did the same stuff with Chevy Chase. I mean, they used to call, Chevy's house and like prank call the housekeeper, and it would make Chevy crazy. He'd come on and go nuts. But I don't think he's like that anymore. I think he's just chill.
This episode is sponsored by Let's Get Checked. Are you the man your father was? Recent studies have shown that men's testosterone levels are dropping substantially since the 1980s at about an average of 1% per year. Low testosterone can have all types of health effects. It can affect your muscle mass, memory, mood, sex drive, you name it. And yes, low testosterone is more common the older you get, but can affect men at any age. So let's talk about today's sponsor, Let's Get Checked. They're a worldwide leader in at-home testing kits, and their male hormone test lets you easily test your testosterone levels at home. You can order a testing kit that will be delivered to you in a discreet packaging with next-day delivery. Once your sample arrives in the laboratory, confidential results will be available to you in your secure online account within 2 to 5 days. These results are reviewed by a clinician, and a member of Let's Get Checked nursing team may call you to review your results. Let's Get Checked laboratories are CLIA approved and CAP accredited, which is the highest ranking levels of accreditation. So, if you want to test your hormone levels without having to leave your home, visit trylgc.com/MSCS. Special offer for MSCS media viewers. Use promo code MSCS at checkout and get 30% off your test. The link is in the description below at the top. Podcast is brought to you by Monster Energy. Tear into a can of the meanest energy drink on the planet, Monster Energy. It's the ideal combo of the right ingredients in the right proportion to deliver a big bad buzz that only Monster can. Monster packs a powerful punch, has a smooth, easy drinking flavor. Athletes, musicians, co-eds, road warriors, metalheads, geeks, hipsters, and bikers dig it. You will too. Monster Energy is more than just the green OG. Monster has Monster Ultra, Juice Monster, Monster Hydro, Rehab Monster, Dragon Tea, Monster Max, Muscle Monster, and many more. Buy on Amazon, buy on Walmart, or go to monsterenergy.com and believe me, you'll find a place. Unleash the beast. Monster Energy. This episode is brought to you by Aurora. Do you know what the fastest growing crime in America is? For years, this crime rate has been surging and affecting millions of Americans. I'm talking about identity theft, and there's a new victim every 14 seconds. That's why I'm excited to partner with Aurora, who is sponsoring this video. Aurora is identity theft protection, fraud monitoring, a VPN, password management, and antivirus software all combined into one easy-to-use app. Aurora monitors the dark web for your emails, passwords, and social security numbers and sends alerts fast, right to your phone and email. Don't put your family at risk. Try Aurora for free for 2 weeks and see if your personal identifiable information has leaked to the dark web. Start your free trial at https://aura.com/MSCS. Link is in the description below. How'd you get so in with Chevy Chase? I mean, Chevy Chase, you're not talking about, Joe Schmo.
Yeah. No.
I mean, how does Patrick get in with Chevy Chase too?
I mean, if you want to keep going the route from Rosie, or I can fast forward because it all connects. It really does. Rosie ended up getting me connected with Burt Young, who played Uncle Paulie in Rocky, right?
Yeah.
And Burt Young's an artist. So Rosie's an artist as well. She's an artist. And
Is
Burt
she?
Young's an artist. So my connection has always been kind of through the art. And so I got connected with Burt Young, and through that I met this guy named Nicky C, who represented Stallone, and he wanted Burt to sign all these items from Stallone, right? And So I looked up Nicky C, and I saw that he represented people like Rodman. He was part of this company called Prince Marketing Group, owned by Darren Prince, who's a great guy and a great friend now. And they represented Hulk Hogan and Dennis Rodman and Chevy Chase and so on and so forth. So Nicky comes up and says, listen, I'd like to have these signing with Burt Young. I want to spend, let's say $2,000, and I want this many items signed, right? Whatever the number was. And Burt was like, I want 2,500. And that's kind of Burt's way. Like, it doesn't even matter what the number is. You could say, he could be like, I want 10 grand. If you say like, all right, here's 10 grand. I need 11 grand.
Yeah.
Every single time it's a nightmare. It doesn't even matter. So, we're in a situation where we're $500 apart. Burt doesn't care. You know what I mean? But I want to meet this guy, Nicky, because I want to get into that circle because I see value there, So I call Nicky. I go, look, I'm going to cover the $500 difference, but let's go out to dinner afterwards. And he's like, you're going to do that? And I was like, yes. So we did. We went out to dinner, and he ended up connecting me with Dennis Rodman. And through Dennis Rodman, I became really friendly with Darren Prince from Prince Marketing Group, who ended up hooking me up with Chevy Chase. And that weekend is insane because it started off with me getting a call from Dennis Rodman on a Thursday asking to do a painting of Tyson and his wife for a flight I'm going out on Sunday. So I got 2 days to do this painting. So I'm like, I could do it 2 days. I'm a super fast painter. So I look up some images. I start painting. It's coming out great. I get a call from Darren Prince. He's like, Chevy's in Rhode Island. He wants to meet you. I'm like, when? He's like, tomorrow. I'm like, I just lost a day. I'm literally losing a day, and I got to get this done. So I'm doing this paint. I'm working. It's wet. I drive up to Rhode Island, meet Chevy Chase real quick. Guys, all energy. He's old, but funny, quick. Like, his wit is just, it's still spot on.
Kind of like a Trump. He's older, but his wit is all there.
It's all there.
And then you compare somebody else's age, and there's no wit.
Well, think about it. It's like a muscle, right? The mind. And he's been doing humor and been having comebacks like that for 60 years, wherever long. And
Yeah, it's like muscle memory type thing.
Totally.
Yeah.
But his sense of humor, man, is still, it's dry and it's crass.
Wow.
It's that 80s humor,
Imagine how many girls he got in his prime. They were probably just falling over. And you can make them laugh. Done deal.
Yeah,
Right?
totally. He's great.
He is great.
So we do all the merchandise I design for him now.
Oh, that's so
So anything you
cool.
buy on officialchevychase.com is typically designed by me.
Oh, that's so badass.
And it's fun. And he loves it.
That's amazing. And then, when you look back at this stuff, this is a kid from Connecticut, right?
Yeah.
You're in Connecticut. I never knew that they had such good pizza until I met Roger Stone.
You didn't?
Never knew that. I never ever heard that Connecticut had a good pizza, like
Pepe's.
the thin crust, right?
Yep.
Did you know that before you told him?
That I did not know.
You never had Pepe's?
You knew?
Mm-mm.
No, I never had
Mike's from
Pepe's.
Stanford, man. He knows.
Stone took me to somewhere in Boca,
Yeah.
or maybe Boynton. It's a Connecticut pizza place. It is good. I never knew that though.
We have great pizza, man. We're right outside of New York.
I know. I thought it was always New York and Philly. And then the water would always be shipped from New York, supposedly, to wherever. Everybody would just say that to get customers.
Right.
You know what I mean? The East,
Of course.
that's what we do up there.
But now down here, you get all the New Yorkers, right? You
Yeah.
get everybody from the top. I don't even know anybody who's from Florida originally.
No, me
Right?
neither. Me neither. None of them. That's why there's no houses to buy, and that's why they're $1 million when they were $300,000 2 weeks ago.
That's right. That's true.
They're all coming from New York.
Unbelievable.
And they're coming, it's all these, because in New York, a friend of ours, he sold his house in New York. He paid $500 for it, couple renovations 20 years ago, normal guy. Now sells it for 1.4, moves down here to Fort Lauderdale,
Yep.
buys a house for 7-8, has 600 left over. He's opening up a taco. He's Italian,
Yeah.
and he's putting an Italian twist on tacos.
Really?
So he's going to open up a taco joint
That
that's
sounds pretty good.
Italianized
Yeah.
in Fort Lauderdale.
I like it.
Because in New York, you had a pizza shop.
Yep.
So down here, everybody's already down here from New York with pizza shops. So,
Switch it up.
and now
That's not a bad idea.
Fort Lauderdale with the tacos,
Yeah.
and you put a little Italian twist on it.
Let
Right?
me know how that is.
I'll let you know. You can come with me. You try it first.
I'll be exactly.
You're the taste tester.
Here.
So now, what are you? You're 18, 19,
Yep.
and you get this gig for a club in Boca Raton, right?
That's right.
To do your first mural,
Yeah.
and it's their budget's $500, and it basically costs you $500 to do it,
Brutal.
but you do it anyway,
So excited.
right? Well, it's your first one, right?
I was like, I just made $500. I didn't make $500.
So take me through that, because that's your first one. That has to stick out.
I was valet parking, and I was working at Blockbuster.
Blockbuster, yeah. Me too.
I loved working there, man. I'm not gonna lie.
Did you know when you were a kid that there was the adult section in the far right?
No, man.
We knew. In the far right, where the games are, and you're always looking to get your game as a kid, and you're looking for the car behind the
Right.
back. Well, if they're all set up the same way. If you were a kid and you turned and you looked to the right there was a curtain. Now, when we're kids, we just think, that's where the stock is. We're
Right.
thinking maybe the game that we want is back there. Oh, no. That's where the fun stuff is for the older guys.
Where's Tommy? He's been in there for 30 minutes.
Maybe so, depending.
You're all sweaty. You're all sweaty.
And then they got destroyed. They went out of business.
I love Black.
I know. That brings back memories of his kid like crazy, right?
Yeah. So back then, listen, my friend was working at a nightclub called, I think it was B-Bar, I think it was called. And it was down the street from Club Boca, which was a huge little club in Boca. And they wanted a little reggae night, and I was down with it. I mean, I drank there free all the time because he worked there. I mean, I was broke. I worked at Blockbuster, so that's where I went because I drank free, and banged it out. And it was the first of many. I mean, Florida kind of made me take off,
So that was your first painting, and at the time you were working at Blockbuster, right?
Mhm.
So you do that, and then that leads to other people recognizing you off of that $500 painting, and you get more jobs.
You just hustle. Like at that point, like I didn't understand the residential sort of market, so I only knew commercial. So I would just go up and down and just walk into commercial spaces and like pitch them cold every single day. And I did that for years. I mean, when I was doing it as a kid, it was one thing. When I chose to do this as a career a couple of years later, like I really picked it up. I mean, between the phone book, cold calling designers, architects, builders, and then just going up commercial strips and just walking in.
I saw that, and then I saw it was about 3 or 4 years, right? In between
Yeah.
like 95, 96, and then 99, you open up Creative Evolutions,
Yeah.
right? And then you cold call, and then you go to their house. If that doesn't work, then you mail them.
Yeah.
What happened to the go-getters? They're not around anymore. That calls, and then if that doesn't work, they knock on the door. And then if that doesn't work, then they mail. And then if that, you just drive them nuts to the point
It
where they
still
have to
works,
hear
though.
you.
It
does.
still works.
But nobody does. Not many people do it anymore.
I have artists reach out to me once, twice a week, and I give them the same pitch. I'm like, if you really, because they're like, I want to do what you do. And I'm like, listen, it's a lot of work to do what I do. It didn't happen overnight. You know what I mean? Like I put in the legwork. I mean, I sweated. I struggled financially. But if you want to do it, here's the formula right here. They don't do it. They're not going to do it. It's after an energy. How bad do you want it? You know what I mean? It's like, listen, it's like the person who wants to get in shape for the gym, right? They're eating Cinnabons and they're 20 pounds overweight, and all you got to do is go to the gym. Like put the Cinnabon down and go to the gym. Effort and energy.
And in your case, your competition, basically, they make 10 calls. Maybe they knock on one door. They're tired. They go back.
Right.
Hey, baby, can you grab me a six-pack on the way home? Did you go look for jobs today, Patrick? Yeah. Tomorrow's a new day, honey. Right? But meanwhile,
I like the challenge. If you don't say no to me, man, I'm not going to stop. And I would do that because if you think about it, I wasn't necessarily just going after specific commercial businesses, although I was when I did the door-to-door because I was short-term cash. I wanted long-term cash. Long-term cash came from architects, builders, designers. Because if you can get your claws in one of them and they like you and they respect you, they're going to go sell for you. Now I get to sit back like this, and they're selling their clients. They get their little piece, don't get me wrong, but that's the real value. So if you get 8 to 10 interior designers, 3 or 4 builders, maybe an architect, you're easy street at that point.
because the celebrity and athlete paintings, they're big number sales, right?
Yep.
And you can do them, but when you start doing, interior design and houses, that's longevity. And like with the architects, now you're their guy.
Yeah.
And you're going to make a hell of a lot more that way. Am I right or wrong? Than like 20 grand, or it balances itself
It
out?
all goes back and forth. So, like, the celebrities are great because it almost gives you, it makes you look a little taller. So it looks good.
Makes the portfolio look good. Hell yeah.
The
that's
developers, the designers, like, oh my God, you worked with so and so, and
Tyson Johnson?
yeah, lets you get the door a little bit
You're
easier.
in.
But before I had that, I had to just go with my straight wits and annoy the fuck out of them until they let me in.
Yeah.
But now it's easier. I mean, they see it and you automatically have credibility. So yeah.
So now what pops? Like, it's a couple years later, but what pops to the point? What was that sign? Because I know you were getting bigger and bigger, and more designers wanted you high profile, and you realized you had to expand to New York.
Yeah.
But that's a big jump. That takes balls.
Yeah.
And a big balls.
Yeah.
And a lot of capital, I would assume.
No capital.
No capital to move to
Horrible.
expand to New York.
It was yeah, man. We were broke. I had
No, I'm saying it takes a lot of capital to do
cash.
so. Yeah.
I had nothing. We would go into these major projects, like on a bro. It's brutal.
I love these stories.
It's
Because I
horrible.
know, I've been through it too.
I got two of them. I got the 12-story building in Brooklyn, and then I have the Martha Stewart building in Manhattan. both of them, we had the ability to do them, but we had no business being there financially. I mean, we were broke. Like, we didn't even know if we were going to have enough money for the product to get the next payment. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's when I really kind of pushed up on the builder, especially in the 12-story Brooklyn one, because we rented out this little flat by the promenade. It was an Irish bar next door, and we would work all day and drink all night. It was amazing. It was an awesome experience, but we were hungover. We were broke. We didn't have any money.
Irish bar of all places.
Oh,
And then
my
you got to paint.
Oh, that beautiful dark wood. You know what I mean? It was awesome. That's the project. Yeah, there it is.
Oh, that's it right there.
And I remember
Wow.
calling the building owner, and I was like, "Hey, man, we're ready for our next payment." And he's like, "Yeah, we're not gonna have that till Monday." I'm like, "Well, we can't go back then, so we're gonna need that money." And he's like, "All right, I'll have something for you at the end of the day."
Oh, wow. That's cool.
Wow.
But yeah, that was a fun one.
That's got to be hard too. Hard as hell on the angle like that.
12 stories, man, going up. The first 9 stories are good. You're on an electric plank, right? And you have 2 engines.
Now, what's that rope there? Go back, Rob.
So that rope is attached to the scaffold. That rope is attached to the
shit.
top of the building. There's an engine on either side. You turn it, and the rope gets pulled through, and you get pulled up the building.
Wow.
So when
I take it you're not afraid of heights.
Man, I wasn't until like we got to the 10th floor,
Oh, man.
and birds started flying by my head, and I was like, "Whoa!"
I'll wave to you from the bottom.
Yeah,
Pat.
exactly. So that was one. The other one's a Martha Stewart building. We were doing a Venetian plaster, which is a very expensive high-end plaster, and we would drive to the Martha Stewart building, every night at 11 o'clock. We didn't have money to stay, so we would drive from Connecticut, get there at 11 at night, work till 6, 7 in the morning, and drive back. So one day we get there, and I probably shouldn't even tell this story. It's horrible. But one day we get there, and it's my buddy Mike Sundelli, worked for me for 10, 12 years. Great guy. And we met a buddy from high school. He was in Manhattan. He had his own bar restaurant. We're like, we'll go by and say hi. You know what I mean? So this is probably 8 o'clock at night. We're not starting until 11. Horrible idea. We go to the bar. We have a couple of drinks. We decide we're going to take the night off. We're working hard. We're just going to go out with him, have a great time. It's his restaurant. Bop, bop, bop. We end up going out all night, coming back to where our SUV was with all our tools and products parked on the road, gone.
Oh.
They towed it. Oh. And we don't have any money, man.
And you're broke as a joke,
We're
right?
broke. Like, we don't have any money.
Major play right now.
We can't even
This
do
is
the
the make or
job.
break.
Yeah, bro.
Right?
And I looked at Mike and I was like, man, this is how you become homeless right here. We got no car. Cell phone's almost dead. We got no money. So I think one of us took the train back, and we had to finagle, borrow from Paul to pay Peter and work it out. But that was a little bit of a delay on that one. So.
How do you see, like, my question is, you're looking at that mural, right? The Statue of Liberty one, if I go back to here. Hold on. So we see, sorry, it's a load slow here. So let me go to this angle here. All right, so you can see, I'm looking down at it, right?
Mm-hmm.
I imagine, like, drawing on a piece of paper, right? I can see the whole paper. I kind of know when I'm drawing it. Like, this just seems like, how do you know?
It's where it gets
You know
technical.
what I mean? Like,
yeah,
yeah,
so it's math. Do you remember in first grade, you were given a drawing, and it was like, let's say a duck, and there's like a little grid drawn around with squares. And then you get a blank grid, and you're supposed to look at each square and draw let's say the beak of the duck on that one. You look at that's all I'm doing, man, is I grid these things out on a wall on a large scale, and I use math. So I know that, let's say that window at the bottom goes up 10 feet, right? I know the base of that is probably going to be 3 feet, and I measure off. It's just all math.
Wow. That is so interesting how I could, artist. Is that what you would consider yourself, an artist?
Something.
Okay. Artist and some.
Yeah.
So I consider that like artist and some, and that is amazing to me that you notice the windows, and then that's how you would judge part of your height.
Well, you measure
right?
the whole
But,
thing. So let's say this whole thing is 40 feet tall by 15 feet wide. I'd basically put it on Photoshop, especially now. You know what I mean? I'll make a little 15 foot by 40 feet, put my image in there, and I grid it out on there first. I mean, it's all math. That's the hard part. Once I get it drawn up, man, then I'm just cruising. That's fun.
I would need the painting by numbers, so like it drawn out with like the 6 and the 7 and what color it was. Then I'd be good.
I would need you to go up there and sketch it and just tell me what color to put in where. And then you got to go back up and mess up and fix when I go over
I'll
the
be
line.
at the Irish bar.
Yeah, you'll be at that. Yeah. Like, hey, I know you're a little fucked up right now, but you got to go back up because we're not going to get the job. So as you were growing up, you love challenges, right?
Always.
So if you couldn't paint landscape, you would do landscape.
Yep.
So when you have these challenges and these deadlines, this is second nature to you because that's your drive, kind of, right?
It was a thrill, man. For a long period of my career, I would. It was almost like getting ready for a race or a game. Like you would get that anxious and you just get all pumped up. And I still get it to a certain extent, but I've been doing it for so long. The challenge is a different challenge. It's not like I can't wait to paint a sky and a ceiling or a portrait. Like I've done it a million times, so I know I can do it, and I can do it almost at free will. So the challenges are a little bit different, and but it's still I still love it. I mean, I wake up every day and I get to do what I love. You know.
Now, when you have that deadline early on, not now, early on, like you're doing Martha, you're getting there.
Yeah.
When you have problems like you had, but somebody stole your stuff. Now you get a little bit further on, a little bit bigger. Think of a time.
Let me be clear.
Sure.
I don't go to the Irish pubs anymore.
Okay.
I was younger.
All right, yeah.
Now I take it a little more seriously.
No.
We don't do that anymore.
No, he no longer, Patrick no longer goes to, we're talking beginning of career to now. We're just talking about how he got to where he got. That's the past.
I don't want my clients saying, where's Pat? He's been gone for 2 hours.
Yeah, no, you're not going to have a painting with your head on the left side and your foot on the, I don't know, top or something, right?
Little Picasso.
So now, give me a time when, other than tools, when you had a major job to do and you had a deadline like the Judy deadline and you didn't think you were going to hit it, something happened. How did you handle it?
I think the most stressful deadlines I've ever had were the TV shows, and I was involved in those for a short period of time, and they were well paid. Originally, they were free when you first get into Extreme Home Makeover, but you would be given a task, a monumental task, and you would have zero time to do it. I think the first episode I did a bar rescue, they had like a 30-foot wide wall, 15 feet tall. I had to paint 4 cars going across it. And so I designed it, and they were paying me really well for it. And I was like, listen, I need like 3 artists to help me because we have one night to do it. Again, you're starting at 10 at night. You got to be done at 6 in the morning. And they're like, yeah, no problem. So I drive up to Massachusetts. I get there. There's no artists. It's me. And I got like 6 to 8 hours to do this. It's fucking impossible. It's not even possible. You know what I mean? So now you look at the grand scale of it and you have to start pulling things out. You know what I mean? You got to dumb it down so you still get that huge sort of look that they're looking for, but you got to shave off hours, man. So you just get creative. But I like that.
I thought you would, and I thought that would be the one because you had said that you got the call, you get the gig, you go there, and it's basically just go.
Yeah.
No direction, no nothing.
Listen, there was one Kitchen Nightmares I did. It was in Bridgeport, and it was
I want to see this one first, real quick.
There it is,
so
right there.
Right here. So
see, the cars are all nice.
Yeah.
The whole background was supposed to be beautiful, colored. I was like, "There's no way, man. We cannot get it done."
And that was go back up, Rob. That was Bar
Rescue.
Bar Rescue season 1, right?
Yeah.
Episode 110.
Yeah.
And then you did the kitchen one. Now I would think that the kitchen one would be the worst ever.
That was crazy. So that one, again, one night, I did have 2 people with me. They wanted the bar to be gold leafed. Gold leaf is a very thin, it's like a square this big. It's very thin, like you blow on it, it would fall apart. So you have to deal with it delicately. We're doing the whole wall like that.
Oh,
the dining room, I'm taking the white panels and I'm making them look like wood, right?
Wow.
I got one night to do it. So I'm doing that. My guys are doing the gold. I bang this thing out. I get done at 6 in the morning. I'm whipped. Problem is, it's not drying. Like, it's not drying at all. Like, at all. Like, I could touch it, and it was like I just put it on there. There's nothing I can do. The show is starting in like 2 hours. You know what I mean? I just left. I was like, well, looks good for my house. No, but they actually invited me to come back for, I was actually on that episode with my wife, my sister, and my brother-in-law.
Congratulations.
And we had dinner, and Gordon came up. He's actually a super, super nice guy. But
Did he know that you left when it wasn't dry?
I sat at the middle table away from the wall.
So nobody would fucking touch it.
He runs in and says, shit, the fuck is
Could you
not
put
there?"
fans in, or they wouldn't have worked with this stuff?
Bro, it was, I don't know what was going on. Man. I don't know. There was nothing that we could do. It was just, it is what it is.
I just saw the kitchen thing, and I thought that had to be hell. Not even the painting, just thinking, like, that must be a mess in the kitchen.
Kitchens are crazy because you're also dealing with, like they're dirty. You know what I mean?
That's what I mean. Like, you're an artist, you're in there.
Totally.
Because a piece of dirt can mess up the whole thing.
It's tough. You're working around people. You got multiple tradesmen. Everybody's there at the same time in one night trying to bang this out. But it's a cool experience. Like, don't get me wrong. I love doing it. Again, really good pay. I would never do it again. Like, I get tired thinking about it. I remember one time I was driving back from Mass, and I was like doing one of these, man, just nodding. I was like, I can't keep doing this. Too much of a pace.
And then you do a lot of stuff for charity.
Yeah, 100%.
A lot. you give back, which is really cool. A lot of people don't, especially now.
Listen, my first 10, 12, 15 years, I was a charity. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
When I got to the point where I could give back, I love doing it. And it's not, and again, I paint super fast. So it's kind of, there's no reason why I can't do it.
Were you always able to paint that fast and accurately? Like you just had that gift?
Fast, not accurately. So when I first started, I knew that if I didn't want to be a starving artist, don't charge by the hour. I'm charging by the job. So even back in the day, I would charge, this is the flat rate for the project, no matter how long it takes. If it takes longer, it's on me. If it's shorter, I get rewarded. So my earlier work was fine, but it definitely is not where it is now because I was trying to get it done. I had a little baby. I was trying to take care of my kids, and I was like, we got to get paid. We got to get paid. But as I got older and my technique got tighter, the speed kept with it. Now I could do a portrait of you in a couple hours. It looks dead on.
Really?
Yeah, it's super awesome.
And that's probably one of many things that separates you from everybody else. So that speed in the beginning that was okay.
Yeah.
Now, a lot of the client, because people like, even me, I have no patience.
Yeah.
So if I have...
I don't either, though. That's why I'm trying to get it done.
Okay, neither of
I
us
don't want
have
to be here all day.
Now imagine if we have Tom Brady's money,
Yeah.
you know, $300 million. I have no patience,
Yeah.
and I want it tomorrow.
Yeah.
And if it's good and it's right,
Yeah.
I'll pay you $1 million. If it's bad, throw it away. Who can do it fast again,
Yeah,
right?
always. But it happens like that, though. Like the Dennis Rodman story asked me to paint a picture of him and Tyson, and I got to be, flying out in 2 days. Most people will be like, I can't do it. You got to decide, where's that effort and energy? You're going to jump and do it and get it done? Because the accolades that come along with that project that I did for free for Rodman as a friend for Tyson got me the Tyson project, which paid me a lot of money. So to me, that's my marketing dollars, right?
Well, that's why you are where you are.
Yeah.
Do you believe that one day he can come in, and the guy that is okay with the board, I won't say his name, right? I call him. Always needs this. Always needs a couple bucks. Hey, buddy, what are you doing? I'm cooking a crock pot. Okay. You want to come in and do the board? Paid. You're always complaining about money. Nah, I got to stir the crock pot.
There it is right there.
I said, wait.
Doesn't the crock pot cook itself?
Yeah.
Yeah, like, don't you just put it in, and don't you have a girlfriend?
Right.
Okay. Sounds good.
Yeah.
But that's how the people are
It's
today.
different, so.
Yeah.
What do you want? Do you want it? How bad do you want it?
That's what it
I
all
want it
comes down
bad.
to. Me
I
too.
want to be an artist my whole life. It's fun.
Availability.
Always. And
Availability.
again, like, so worst case, I'm
Machiavelli.
rushing around to do a painting to go see Mike Tyson. Like, wow. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Like,
jeez.
aw,
Oh, you have to rush.
tough life.
And you have to leave the house.
Yeah.
And you have a kid. Look,
Right.
Daddy's going for a good reason.
Right.
Okay, he's going to meet Mike Tyson and Rodman, and this is going to propel his career. He will be back.
You call me Uncle Dad. I'll see you in 4 days.
Yeah. I could be the uncle for
Right.
4 days, right? How was Tyson when you met him?
I thought he was super nice, man. I mean, I've worked with a bunch of celebrities. He's one where I was really excited because I watched boxing as a kid. Actually, with my cousin Mike's dad, we used to watch boxing all the time, and he used to take me to Foxwoods and see it. So when I first met him, I walked in with Rodman and his girlfriend, and we were showing the painting of Tyson and his
Biting
wife.
your ear off there?
Yeah, I didn't even know what he was doing. I looked at the picture afterwards. I was like, awesome.
You know he bit it twice. He bit it two pieces off.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I thought it was
You
only
didn't know
one. No, I thought it was just one until Bobby Ches told me.
Twice.
Yeah.
You see it though when you watch it again.
Well, you put hot sauce on the gloves.
Look how tired I am. You go back to that.
Go back, go back.
Look at my
Oh,
eyes.
yeah, you look tired. Yeah.
So cranked that one out, went out there. We go to Tyson's Ranch. We walk in, and you walk in, it's like kind of a big open area with offices on the left. And so it's Dennis, me, and his girlfriend, and all I hear is, Rodman, get in here. We walk in, and the room is like full of smoke. He's got a joint behind his ear, one in his hand, and I'm just like, oh my God. So we open that up, and he starts going crazy. That's amazing. I should put you on the podcast. Come here, come sit down next to me. So I sit down. He's like, I want you to paint me with horns coming out of my head. And I was like, man, he's real high, you know?
Yeah.
He's like, no, I want horns. And so we talked about it for a while, and then I got up and I was talking to his wife, Kiki, and I was like, does he really want that? Because he wanted like a big 10-foot Pete, like big. And I'm like, does he really want that? And she's like, yeah. And she shows me a picture of like the horns, like Caesar horns, you know? I'm like, all right. So I go back to him. I was like, yeah, all right, listen. I was like, let's take a picture of you. Show me the face you want. So I took a shot of him, and his mouth's open. He's got the beard, and I was like, all right. So I went back and painted it, banged it out, and then we flew back out and delivered it.
And that was go back, Rob. That was the other one, right?
Yeah. That
And
I
you
did
got
for
the glove
myself.
too. Back.
That's a close up.
Yeah, there's that one. It might be right there.
I
That
can't
one,
click on
yeah.
that one, yeah.
That is now. How long did that take you to do? I know you're Speedy Gonzalez, but that's pretty damn big, man.
Yeah, it's not bad. I mean, usually I can do a 10 by 10 like that in 2-3 hours. I'll show you
What?
the bulk one and stuff. Yeah, I'll show you a couple that I did. That one I took extra time on. And you can't really see in these pictures, but if you get real close to the face, like the details are ridiculous. I went back and typically I could do a painting like that once in 2-3 hours. This one I went back and I overpainted it 2-3 times because I was excited. It was Mike Tyson. I was like, we gotta give him the good stuff. You know what I mean? So
Hit Command Plus and zoom in on that.
Yep.
It might not be able to see it on
Dude,
the
can you do
resolution.
the video? Maybe the video will have it.
It's YouTube. You can't play YouTube on YouTube.
Unbelievable.
That's a new sensor.
Brilliant.
Actually, that one's used to be able to play 30 seconds. Now you can't play any.
It doesn't make any sense.
They suck. Spotify.
That's wild.
Yeah, that is fucking wild, dude.
But look how thick he is,
Yeah.
right?
And how long ago was that?
That was a couple years ago. It was I want to say 3 years ago, maybe.
All right, he was on Rogan 3 weeks ago. He's 3 times the size of that.
Is he really?
Fucking huge, man.
What's the size of that painting?
I think that's actually. It ended up being 8 by 8.
Golly, it's big. That's cool.
So that was fun. Yeah.
And then you went to Lynn University, huh?
I stopped by.
Stop by. How was that?
Greatest 4 weeks of my life.
Was it for you, huh?
No, I mean, I was sitting in class and I thought, I don't know, I didn't even want to go to school. My best friend was going to school down in Florida. He was going to FAU. And my family, Italian family, like, you got to go to school. You got to go to school. And I was like, I don't want to go to school. So I was like, all right, I'll go there. So they picked a school that would let me in. I go down to Lynn. And FAU is another college that's maybe 10 minutes down the road. So I would go to class all day, and and I thought I was going to some sort of art school, but it was more like design. I'm drawing couches, and I was like, this is horrible. So I stopped going to classes, and I started going to FAU. And my best friend's there, a couple other friends, and this whole group. So I start staying in the dorms at FAU, and I'm staying there so long. At one point, they have a mercury spill in one of the
Real
Right.
Mercury?
mercury. One of the
The
students
hell they
brought
have
it back
mercury here?
from the science.
Oh,
broke
from science.
it. Right? They closed down the whole dorm. So now they take all of us and they put us in a hotel. I don't even go to the school. So now I'm in this hotel and I'm sitting there, and we used to drink. What was the beer? Remember Ice House?
What was the other ice? No, Natty Ice.
Natty
we
Ice.
used to drink Natty Ice at school, yeah.
So we had an Ice House. That was what we were drinking. And so everybody's at their school. They're all doing their classes. I'm sitting in the dorm room, and a news crew gets in, and they knock on the door, and I let them in. They're like, hey, can we interview you? And I'm like, yeah, no problem. So like, how's it going? You getting, how's everything going while in the dorm room? Da da da. I'm like, it's tough, man, but we're working through it as best as we can. So it goes on the news. My parents see this, and it says Pat Ganino, FAU student, and I'm like, yeah, it's tough. We're getting through it. And then it pans over, and there's all these empty Ice House cans. And I'll be honest, my father was like, I am super proud of you, man. I'm like,
He's just happy you're there. You don't know the rest of it. And Lynn University prior was an all-girls school,
the
year
year prior, I think it was all girls school. They were ready to let anybody in. So,
Yeah.
I liked it, though. It was a great school. I recommend it to anybody. It is what it is.
And then when you decide to leave there after a couple months,
Yeah.
where do you go from there?
I stayed Florida. I'm staying at FAU, really, and I stayed down there for, I think like 2 years. That's when I valet parked. I did the murals for the nightclubs, restaurant. And then, I mean, listen, we were kids. We were going out all night. It was very easy to do in South Florida. So it got to the point where I remember waking up like 4 a.m. on the couch, like just sitting up like this. And I was like, I got to get out of here. So
This ain't
I
working,
was like,
right?
it's not working. So I went back to Connecticut, and then I pulled it together and just got real serious. And that's when I actually built up the business for real. And it became what it is today.
And then after you're in New York, like you said, you were broke.
Yeah.
You get through the Martha Stewart, you get through all that, right? So those get done, broke. What's the next one that comes along?
I was driving back and forth to Greenwich in New York from Gales Ferry. Gales Ferry is up by Mystic. It was a horrendous drive. So I'm like, we got to move. I can't, I'm dying. You know what I mean? Like, I spent so much time on the road. This is prior to Google, man. Like, we were using maps,
I keep
books.
You're using MapQuest.
MapQuest, but they were no. I would print them out. But even prior to that, I had the map book. It was like E7. You could go there, and the road. It was horrible, man. No cell phones. If you're gonna be late, you called on a payphone.
Wow, man, things change fast.
Yeah, man.
Really fast when you think about it.
Crazy. So we ended up moving to Madison, Connecticut, which is a little bit north of New Haven. So the drive is now an hour and 20 minutes, hour and 40 minutes, or I could hit the train and get down there easy. And I just kept racking up businesses, just taking any project. And then I started building it out with a separate crew. So I only did murals, they did faux finishing, and I scaled it as best as I could.
Now, at that time, when you're going back and forth from New York, if you wanted to live there, what would it cost to live at that time?
It's crazy.
It was absolutely insane
It didn't
even
make
then.
any sense. Like when I did the mural, the 12-story building, and I rented the Brooklyn flat. I mean, the room was like maybe a little bit bigger than this, and it was a couple grand a month. So
Wow.
I got kids at this point.
And that was what year?
That was 2009.
2009. Imagine what that is now.
It's got to be insane. You can't. It's like L.A. You can't live there. You can't live there, man.
Yeah. Madison Beach Hotel. Wow.
That was a fun one.
That was a fun one, huh?
That
It
was
looks
great.
like it.
Yeah, they're all fun. I mean, you're dealing with what people, what they're interested in. This is the owner of the restaurant. This is her father. She had me find an old picture of her father, put it in color. So you have to put it in a French bistro. So I'm creating these scenes out of nowhere. I mean, this doesn't even exist. It's not like I painted this from a picture. I had to put multiple pictures and piece it together and create, some sort of memory.
To come up with that in your mind, like even the white light, you had to come up with that, right? Like
Yeah.
you thought of that white light. You thought of the book. You thought of the guy that looks like Christopher Columbus on the left hand side.
Yeah.
You know he had all fake teeth? Do you know what he did? You want to hear something funny?
Yeah.
You could do a painting on it. It might sell pretty good.
What? Tell me what's happening.
It's really insane.
I feel like I missed something.
Well, I just had read this the other.
Okay.
So Christopher Columbus, right? He had slaves.
Yeah,
He would pull their teeth to make his teeth good,
that's disgusting.
and then it had springs, and then the wood around it was his teeth. So
kidding?
if you Google Christopher Columbus's teeth, you'll see that it was his slaves. So imagine being that slave. and-
Popping them in?
Yeah,
Oh.
popping them in, and then they would put a spring up and like glue them in with whatever they had. Google Christopher Columbus teeth from his slaves.
We need this ASAP.
Yeah, I'm telling you. If you
How
paint
messed up
that-
was his grill, though? You got all different teeth, and
I mean, it was a little odd, but back then,
it's either the greatest idea or worst idea ever right now looking at this. I'm just telling you.
this is a good idea, I think.
That's a good idea.
And my reason behind it is because you could paint it.
Hit images.
Hit images. Oh, his grill's gonna come up here. Where is it?
Oh, look at that.
Click that right there.
This one?
Yeah.
Oh, look
Oh yeah, it's different fucking teeth.
Yep.
Yeah, man.
That's
And then go down right there where the springs are.
this one?
Yep. Look at that, Patrick.
Oh yeah.
You see that?
I can't believe they were able to do that back then.
What the fuck?
Yeah. And then the wood is what kept him in. So he would go to his workers, yank them out, put them in his teeth.
So what, he'd find
Go-
like a tooth that looked nice, and he'd be like, I want
Yeah.
that tooth. Give
You
me
know,
that.
nobody smiled on that job.
No, they were like, that motherfucker has my teeth.
That is crazy.
But imagine if you painted that.
Yeah, I can't. I'm gonna have to pass, bro.
You gonna pass with that? Yeah, I don't know if you'd want that at your portfolio.
Who's buying? You buying that one?
Yeah, probably the only one, just to laugh. You know what I mean? This is why I'm not an artist,
Your next episode, it's gonna be the backdrop here, his teeth.
and nobody will ever watch again because they're puking. Right? I thought it was just funny.
That's crazy. I didn't know that.
Yeah, it is. It's absolutely insane.
All right.
And then you write a book,
Yes.
right?
Yep.
07, you write it,
I think so. Yeah.
and that's just about. Explain what that's about. I mean, I know what it is, but
So I mean, listen. Artists typically run into this problem where they feel like because they're artists, they're not business people, right? And my whole philosophy is, I'm not an artist. I'm a business person that happens to be good at art. But the same thought process that you need as an artist to be creative and come up with designs and solve problems, it's the same thing you do in business, right? We're just solving problems. I mean, half of business is just putting out fires and solving problems. So I try to break it down into the book and explain to artists, like, here's how you make money. Here's a set of steps, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. If you follow them, you will make money. It's your choice. You want to be flaky and do whatever you want to do, that's great. But if you want to follow this, we can all make money and do well, because there's plenty of money out there for artists. People love us,
and when you look at art, you think it's just art.
Yep.
And that's why I thought it was such a great book. I read part of it.
Awesome.
And tried to listen to it.
Yeah.
But went back to the reading of it. And at first I'm like, it's all business.
Yeah.
The beginning is all business, but like you said, yeah, you're doing art,
We know
but
how
the
to
art is
paint.
business. Right, but you know how people think that aren't.
Yeah.
They just think, okay, artist guy can paint, but you look at it as a full business. So for those who like art, just because you're not super talented, you can become super talented, and you can look at it as a business. And maybe you can't do it,
Right.
but you could find a guy like you,
Yeah.
put them under you,
That's
maybe
it.
because you have the capital, and mold them in and just be fair,
Totally.
and you'll have them forever.
Why not? You know?
And the best thing I saw out of everything, and I had a ton, was that even after the Martha Stewart in New York and you got bigger as you're growing, your philosophy stayed the same. What's your philosophy?
Is it if you can imagine it, we can paint it? Is that the
No,
one?
it
What is
was,
the other one?
I'm going to have to read it because I don't have that good a memory.
All right.
If you do a good job and you work hard and you don't cause a lot of trouble, more people want to work with you. If there's an error on the job, I don't tell everybody about it. I just fix it. So the designers, builders, and architects loved working with me because you don't go to them like,
Never a
hey,
problem.
I got a problem.
Nobody cares. Nobody cares. Just get the job done, be seamless, and be invisible. And by being invisible, you're going to be seen. It's that simple. Because they are doing their own thing. Everybody's doing their own thing, man. They don't want to be bothered. I want you to paint a flower on my wall. Just paint the flower on the wall. Don't tell me the garbage is full. You ran out of green. I don't care. Put the flower on the wall. So that's all we did.
So from your perspective, if you're trying to mentor somebody,
Yeah.
how would you say that to them? Like, hey, look, if you're doing a job like you do, don't tell anybody. Like, without, in other words, how would you say, don't tell anybody, just get it done quietly, don't cause trouble?
We call them holidays. So if we're on a job site, if you or me are on a job site and you're finishing up and I'm coming to look at the project and I see you missed a spot, I go, there's a holiday right there. You know what I mean? Because we're like,
cool.
hey, you missed a spot. It's a holiday, you know? Or you're walking around, you want to check it out. You know, we point a lot, even if there's nothing to point at, just to look like we're busy. Just look like you're busy, do a good job, make it easy, collect the money, and move on. They'll call you back.
Makes sense, too. And plus, if you have people working with you, when you say holiday, instead of saying, hey, you,
Right.
fix that there,
Exactly.
you just say, hey, holiday.
Yeah.
And then it's not devaluing
Now it's low
your
key,
worker.
man. It's positive.
Yeah, it's still positive.
Yeah, totally.
And then what really threw me off was within all this, you start up a social media company, basically, where, you know, and everybody has that problem where,
Yeah.
you know, you're trying to do 100 things at once, but you got Reddit, you got Facebook, you got Twitter. That's a lot to keep up with.
Yeah.
And you have a company that helps you keep up with it, and you do the hosting, and you do the web design.
Yeah.
So speak a little bit on that, because that was a trickster on that one. That threw me off on that.
Listen, that was by accident as well. I mean, it was when Facebook kind of first came out with Facebook pages. It was MySpace first, but then really Facebook pages. And I was promoting my business. And so I'd come out with a book. I'd come out with a website called fauxforum.com, and it was basically this website that allowed artists from all over the world to come on and talk to each other. So again, it's before Facebook. This is how people communicated in forums. And so these artists were talking to each other nonstop, learning different techniques, sharing work, business tips, blah, blah, blah. And my organization at the time for decorative painters was called IDAL, and they had a physical magazine, and they were bleeding. And they saw what I did with this faux forum. I was selling advertising on it. I'd gotten tapped by Sherwin-Williams in Cleveland. They were coming out with faux impressions, which was their faux finish line at the time. And I had their audience. Basically, everybody they wanted to sell to was on my site. So they started flying me to Cleveland to pick my brain, and then they started paying me to put advertising on the site. So I just gotten into this I just had this website for fun, and they want to give me $1,000 a month to put an ad on there. At the time, I was like, that's awesome. I probably could have got a lot more, but Sherwin-Williams. But I was like, this is amazing. Anybody's paying me to be on here, right? So this organization comes in. They, you know, I appear to be this sort of internet guru to my organization, which I'm not. I have a web guy. I just tell him what I want. He does it, you know?
Yeah.
So organization comes in like, listen, we need some help. Can you turn this physical magazine into a digital magazine? We'll pay you $2,000 a month, and we'll give you, I think it was like 20% or half, I forget what it was, of all advertising. So I was like, yeah. So what I did was I took all the artists on the faux forum and I made them writers for this digital magazine. So they created the content, the verbs, the pictures, everything. I just plopped it into there, and this magazine literally went into the green or the black overnight because there's no more overhead. They're not paying anybody either. These artists love it because they're getting press. They look like rock stars, right? Their name written by so-and-so. And we solved the problem like that. So I was like, okay. I'm getting $2,000 a month from them. I'm getting $1,000 from Sherwin-Williams, and then I started going after my designers because now Facebook pages is kind of picking up. Social media blogs are huge at that time. It's when that first, came out.
Initially it was the blog. Everything was a
Huge.
blog.
Everything
right?
was about a blog, right?
And if you wanted to rank on Google, you had to have a blog.
exactly.
First it was keywords.
Yeah.
And then keywords didn't matter.
Right.
Then it was blog. Then blog didn't matter.
Right.
Then it was meta description mattered.
All of it.
You
man.
know it all.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
So that was the time when blogs were huge.
And it's interesting because the forum, you walk away from that right when YouTube and Facebook start to pop.
Yeah.
13, 14.
Yeah.
Because that's when it was out, but it was people were using it.
Even our images. I mean, they were like 600 by 600. I mean,
Yeah.
it was a dinosaur. We didn't have the bandwidth or anything. We couldn't do it. I mean,
I never realized the bandwidth either because when YouTube was, all this censor shit left and right, I looked to see how much it would be to, like, I have a server, but a server's one thing.
Of
Bandwidth
course.
is another thing.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize, if you have just a YouTube channel, say me and you have a YouTube channel and we do 1 million views an episode, right? You need one hell of a bandwidth for that.
Yeah.
Especially like a 3-hour video in 4K.
Right.
You'll go broke just paying for the bandwidth.
Isn't that crazy? Crazy.
The bandwidth will be more than the studio, the rent, the guests combined.
Next show, we're on lawn chairs, pal. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we're on lawn chairs with iPhones, iPhone 6. Right?
The Sartec flip phone. I love it.
Yeah. No, I want my next two-way if I have to go back. The click. You got one too?
I didn't have one, but
how could you miss the next?
It made me
you
crazy.
Didn't have a two-way.
Oh, I
Those
hated
were the
it.
best.
You know what it was? I felt like you were too accessible. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to listen. I like the StarTech. It made me feel cool.
Oh, I felt like a cop at the two-way. I thought I was, I don't
So,
know.
anyway, the full forum blows up. Sherman goes.
Hell of an idea, by the way, Patrick.
Thank you. I probably stole it from somebody else. So I did. I actually saw a couple of the forums and they weren't doing it right. I'm like, I'm going to do it better. You know what I mean?
Whatever.
It is what it is. So
Sucks for them.
Yeah, sucks for them. So I start tapping in my designers. I'm like, you should really start promoting yourself with blogs and get on Facebook. And they're like, all right, will you help me? And the first one was Amy Hirsch at a Greenwich, who I actually met through my cousin Mike. And so she hires me. So we get the Facebook page, we're doing the blogs, going crazy with it. And so now I got 2 clients at $2,000 and 1,000 coming in from Sherwin-Williams. And I got $5,000 coming in a month. And I'm like, all right, let's see what happens. You know what I mean? I hire this girl to kind of do some of the legwork. I kind of oversee it. And then I'm like, all right, I'm going to take a little break from pain, and I'm going to go start selling this and see if I can actually sell it. So one of my dear friends, Nancy Hadley, used to get me on all the TV shows, calls me with a show that's coming out on Spike TV called Tattoo Rescue. They need a social media company. Throws me a bone. I mean, literally throws me a bone. So now at the end of the show, it's like powered by Social Tuna. I'm like,
oh, you hit the jackpot on that one, buddy.
I was like, whoa. So we start blowing it up. So now I'm pitching designers. I'm pitching restaurants. Same way I did Creative Evolution. I'm walking in and I'm pitching them cold. Started getting real estate agents. Then I started taking my celebrities and flipping them into clients. So Burt Young and Rosie O'Donnell and Dennis Rodman. And I just started. So it became this weird thing between the social media company and the mural company. It really was symbiotic. I mean, they powered each other. The mural clients I'd flip to social media. My social media clients I'd flip to mural clients. And I still do it to this day. It's a boutique business. It's not huge. I don't take anybody. But it works great.
Hey, Rob, pull up his website, Social Tuna.
Yep, got it there.
All right. So take us through this, Patrick, because you got clients, you got services, a lot more than you would think.
Yeah, I mean, listen, the basics, the basic way that I describe it is we're content creators. That's really all we are. I mean, everything else just supports content, right? So what we try to do is create content for clients. It's interesting, original, and that we can put on a regular basis. So when we go meet a client, we say, hey, do you want to have 1 post a week? Because 1 post a week is 52 pieces of content, right? It's a lot of content, right? New original content. You want 2, that's 104, and so on and so forth. So the prices go up. It's a flat rate, just like the mural business. All done on credit card. Money gets paid to us prior month, every time. And then we just try to create content. So these are some clients, past and present. And
for those who are listening, if we want to go through them, you have Rosie O'Donnell, Rodman.
Yep.
That's Wade Boggs, right?
Yeah, Wade Boggs. That's what I was going to say. I thought
Wade Boggs.
Super nice guy. Tony Dow from Leave It to Beaver. You got Russell Simmons, top left. Ty Babylonia.
Yeah, Russell Simmons is huge. He's still huge.
Yeah, he's over in Bali, I think, or something. I don't know.
Wiffle ball, like the wiffle ball company.
Yeah, man.
That's awesome.
How
dude.
the hell did you get them?
So cool.
Networking.
We called them. We called and emailed them, man, for like 8 months.
How do you know about them, Rob?
Wiffle ball. You never play wiffle ball?
Of course I play wiffle ball. I just want to
Wiffle
know how you
ball.
know.
Well, I ain't.
Everybody played with
Wiffle
That was a monster.
You go in their office, man, and first off, it's still run by the family, so the grandson runs it now. And he'll tell you the story about how the wiffle ball, how they created it. It's kind of crazy. His grandfather was, basically out of work, and they took one of those little plastic balls you put like pantyhose in or something like that.
Yeah.
Comes home and sees his son like, with a stick trying to hit some bullshit ball. So he takes it and they start cutting the holes in it, and they start realizing you can get, aerodynamic with it, and then they create the bat with it and become wiffle ball. So you go into their office in Shelton, Connecticut, and there's like typewriters on the desk. I mean, it looks like
old school,
straight out of the 60s. Like they have not updated, but they don't care. They're just making wiffle balls and bats. I mean, ship them out, man, all day.
See, that makes me want to buy from them because I know it's still the same quality.
Same quality.
It was 50 years ago.
Super charitable people, nice people, low key. They're not looking for stardom. They just kind of do their job, man.
I'm afraid to buy a whiff ball now. It probably has preservatives on it and fucking shit to kill me so they can, population control, whatever the hell.
Did you guys used to do like, you used to take the wiffle ball, and I can't remember if it was the bat or we used to take the ball and you used to wrap it in duct tape, and you'd make it go further, of course, when you hit it. I think it was the bat or the ball.
I don't think wiffle ball would approve my.
They would not like that.
They would not approve of that.
That's against our standards.
I had a fly swatter.
Right.
That's what I had. Wiffle ball and a fly swatter. Cool, though.
Great company, though. I love them. There's Amy Hirsch right there, the one we talked about earlier.
Yeah. Click on Amy Hirsch.
I don't even know if it goes anywhere.
Right here?
Yeah. Oh, it goes.
Second row
Oop,
down.
That's not Amy Hirsch.
She's nice, too.
Who is
That's
that?
Brittany Baldy from The Challenge. And
Oh, it will come up.
there's Brittany Baldy.
There's Brittany Balding.
Yep.
Just wanted to show you that, Rob.
Yeah. Where's she at? Right here?
Mm-mm. Second row down, second one over. Amy Hirsch.
There we go.
And this is all through this networking.
Yeah,
Unbelievable.
this is one of the best interior designers you're going to meet.
Oh,
Like,
that is
high end as high end goes. Her taste is impeccable, and she's a badass businesswoman.
Wow. And go up to his services on Social Tuna. Now, when you get into Social Tuna, do you have third parties helping you, or you're doing it all? Like,
I did, and then I brought it all in house. And then when COVID hit, I farmed out. We farm out websites now, so we don't do those in house. Whatever websites we've done for existing clients, they're grandfathered in. We'll do that still in house, but now I farm all that out. So now we just do straight up content creation. We have our servers. And then it's boutique business because there's some graphic design with flyers and stuff like that. It really depends,
I would have done the same thing.
Yeah, we were like,
Because I have a marketing company and the website. Who
cares?
Really? Who cares?
we don't want to do it. It's a pain in the ass, man.
It's a pain in the ass, and
Yep.
it really doesn't matter.
Yep.
Totally. What you're doing on the other end is what makes the difference.
Exactly.
Not-
But I needed it all.
Yeah.
Like I needed the blogs. We don't do blogs anymore.
No.
Well, you can, but we don't really do it. But in the beginning, we had to sell the website with the blog because that's what people wanted. And once you get them in, obviously as time goes on, everything changes, right?
That was so crazy with that. I know because I did the same thing.
Right.
And when they went to blogs and they were like, you have to have a blog. Every website I had done was calling me. I had to put in a blog.
Yeah.
And what happened? 6 months later, they came out with like Penguin or whatever the update was.
Right.
And
think
nobody
about all
cared.
the trends. Then Pinterest is huge.
Yeah.
And all these
Nobody
different
even knows
things.
what Pinterest is anymore.
No. So I have people, they would always come to me, we got to get on this. I'm like, you don't need that. All you need is this, 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 and this. You want to do that, that's fine. But this is where everybody is, man. Just focus on that. Let's not get crazy.
So now you have the social media management. Now it's a boutique business.
Yep.
So if I go to the site and I hire you for the social media management, what can I expect? I know you have flat rate. Say I do the flat rate.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Now what can I expect on the flat rate?
It really depends, man. Like we start off at $1,000 a month, and it can go anywhere from there.
Based on how much work needs done.
Posts, what kind of content is it? Because there's obviously different types of content, whether it's imagery or video. How much editing is it going to go into it? Because there's one client we have, which is a phenomenal client. We do a lot of videos, but it's like 99% of them we don't even have to edit. Like it's one and done, 45-second, just fun clip. So it just depends.
But then you'll get the other one that just throws you
19 edits on a 45-second clip.
Yeah.
Like,
So what are they doing? Are they sending you guys like stuff and then you're putting it together, right?
depends on the client.
Oh, it depends.
Some will actually go out and film. So if we have one that's local, we can typically get a month's worth of content done in a couple hours. If we have somebody who's a little farther away, then we get creative. Like if I do like let's say a celebrity or a personality or anybody really, and I want to get a month's worth, and maybe it's just, let's say it's just pictures or a little video. I'll like bring 8 different shirts. You know what I mean? Yeah. We're going to make it look like these were done on different days, and we're going to get this done because I don't want them to think about it. I want to get it done in a couple hours, maybe 3 hours, be out. I'll see you next month, Because if I'm coming and knocking on the door every day, eventually they're looking through the blind.
yeah.
They're not answering the door,
Yeah. That's fast, though. Yeah. But you apply it to everything else. And then content creation, I assume it's the same thing. It just depends on what you want,
You gotta
right?
get that word blog off there.
Yeah. But, people still want it, though. People still want
do.
them.
We have one that we do, but now we farm it out to like Fiverr.
Yeah.
We go to Fiverr, put in the topic, they'll write them for us, cost $15.
Yeah, why
We
not?
pass it on. I don't want to deal with it anymore.
Me
We used
neither.
to literally write them in house. I had a writer that would do it.
Well, you had to.
Yeah.
You had to because they were scanning it. That spider was scanning. If you had a blog and it had to be an off-site blog,
Yep.
remember, and the blog had to be pointing at the
yeah.
website you
all
wanted.
the links, how many words, how many times it was
Yeah.
mentioned, the imagery had to have the right text for the name of it. It was like,
And then they were limiting characters and
Yeah.
all that other stuff.
I hate it.
And then graphic design, which everybody hates. I mean, I could do it, but I hate doing it myself.
I have a guy who's super good at it. He's creative. He takes good direction. Sometimes I like it. It depends on what it is. But I do it when I want to do it for fun. He does it for the clients because he has to do it.
Yeah.
So like if it's a Chevy Chase thing, I'll design stuff, and I like doing that. For the merch.
And then you have email marketing.
Still huge, man. I talk to people every once in a while, and they're like, "Oh, email doesn't work anymore." I'm like, "You're out of your mind, man. It still works. It converts. It does.
Especially when it hits the inbox.
Yeah.
If you can get that to hit the inbox, that's
100%.
priceless.
100%.
That can take your business from whatever it is to within a week times 100.
And you have all the analytics on the back end. You can see if they opened it, what they clicked on, so on and so forth. So you literally, it's like getting a blind survey. You put 4 items on there. You may think 1 and 2 are really going to sell well and 3 and 4 suck. But at the end of the day, the analytics show that 3 and 4 were big. Now next month it's 3 and 4 move up. We're going to put 2 new ones on. So you can literally finite anything with that information.
Do you see that a weird question? Do you see that emojis work better on emails? Because I seem to click on emails that have emojis. Like it'll have like a fire and it'll have like whatever.
In the subject line?
Subject line, yeah.
I'm going to throw some fire in for you tomorrow.
Yeah, all
It
right.
does.
I'll click
little
on it.
eggplant peach.
Yeah, correct.
All right, we'll do it.
But it's way more important than people think, as is the graphic design, because what people don't realize, like Facebook, Instagram,
Yeah.
they won't even look at you if you're not to their specifications. So
Yep.
like Instagram, as you know, 1500 by 1500. If that image isn't 15 by 1500, you will never rank.
Yep.
You'll never hit the Explorer page
Yeah.
because you're making their platform look like shit
Right.
because it doesn't fit in the box. So the
Right.
picture's cut off. Twitter is different. Facebook, different.
But like anything in life, you get
Yeah.
rewarded by doing a good job.
Well, they have directions there of
Yep.
the image size that they
Yep.
want and the resolution
Not
for a
hard.
reason. I had a guy contact me doing similar stuff,
Mm.
and he had all these great images. I'm going through them, the sizes are right, and I'm not even thinking about resolution because it was a
Right.
smart guy. You know what the resolution was? And this is a huge company.
300.
Huge. No, 70.
70.
70. So I kept, but I didn't
I
even.
didn't even know you could do 70.
God.
I was using Windows. The guy's a gazillionaire.
Right.
Windows, really, bro? Windows? I mean, maybe you hate Mac, but you should probably use Mac for this kind of stuff. We're in 2022. We have the M1 Max, but yeah, 70.
70.
70. And
I
now,
feel like 300 small.
me too. I put 1,000
Right.
all the time.
Unbelievable.
And they checked that. So when he wasn't ranking,
Right.
it took me 2 weeks to realize that was the problem because that was the I was thinking, no, come on, guy's got a huge story. The resolution. Jeez.
Can we get the pictures a little smaller? A little smaller.
Yeah.
A little smaller.
Now, you're also a joint owner for a little while with her restaurant, and you have the best quote ever. What do you get when a doctor, a lawyer, and an artist and a chef meet over craft beer and a meal?
Yeah.
So what do you get?
We got a shit show. No, it was great. Herd was awesome. So it was a second restaurant venture I got into, and it was for fun. It really was. The first one was a Mexican restaurant. I actually got them as a social tuna marketing client, and I went in there. And I naturally talk to people just like you. You guys are social cats. You like people, right? So you get to know them. So I'm sitting there talking about social media marketing, and he starts crying, and I'm like, man, what the hell just happened, He starts talking about how he's in debt, and he owes this kind of money in the restaurant, and I'm like, all right. I'm like, show me what kind of debt you have. And it's not like I'm a mastermind, but I can do simple math. So I was like, all right, this is what he has as an overhead. This is what he's bringing in. And out of the overhead, this is how much his debt that's, basically non-reoccurring debt. It's not like it's a phone bill. It's like he owes this plumber and he owes this guy and this guy, So I was like, listen, let's take all this sort of debt that you owe to these tradesmen or work. Let's call them, and we're going to say, hey, we're going to spread this out. Instead of paying each guy $1,000 a month, you're going to say, I'm going to give you $200 a month till it's paid off. It sucks, but you're going to get your money. If I do $1,000 a month, we're going to go out of business and you're not going to get anything. So I know you're going to be upset about it, but in the long run, you're making money. So I lowered his overhead to allow the cash, because it was a cash business, man. So he's like, I want you to get more involved. I was like, you got to make me a partner. So he ended up making me a 20% partner, no money in. And we basically took this restaurant that was just riddled with debt and turned it into a cash cow. You know, I think within, they had $100,000 in debt the first year, got rid of it. Second year we're pumped. We're going to start just bringing in the cash, you know what I mean? And then a sheriff shows up and is like, you owe sales tax of $80,000. With interest, it's $100,000. You got 30 days to pay it. We're closing shop. You know what I mean? I'm like, So I called my buddy, who's a lawyer, John Shapiro, and he's the one that wrote the contract for me to be in at 20%. So I was like, listen, why don't you find that money, get an investor, come in, I'll get you 20%, and let's turn it around for year 3. Year 3 is going to be the year.
That's going to be the one, right?
The year.
Are you having fun the first 2 of those?
I'm loving it, bro.
All right.
I love it. Listen, I don't have to.
And you're
do
still
it.
doing your painting.
It's fun, man.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm
just having a good time.
Please. You know, I'm going and I'm eating free, drinking, you know, whatever.
Having a blast.
Having a blast. So, and I did all the murals and I decked it out like I wanted, you know what I mean? So we get the money in, we pay it off within the 30 days. We have a payment plan to get this guy paid off, the investor guy. And so now we're like, all right, we're going to upgrade the food. We're going to upgrade the staff. So we bring in this chef. So now year 3, the food is like at an unbelievable level. And we bring in this other guy to manage the place because we're going to open up a second joint. You know what I mean? Like
you're going to expand. You're going to franchise.
We're going to franchise. So we're super pumped. So then we find out that the owner of this restaurant had sold 90% of the restaurant years before he met us to his brother-in-law.
Oh my God.
So now I'm like 90 plus 20 plus 20. And I was like, let me carry that one. That doesn't add up.
Hey, where's the craft beer?
Yeah, exactly.
The strong one, the IPA. Over here. The whole bottle.
The whole bottle. So we got into a little...
The chocolate one.
Yeah, quesadillas. Come on. So I had him buy me out, basically. I was like, listen, you got to buy me out. This is a shit show. Like, we just killed it for you. You know what I mean? Because now the wife comes in and she's like, he had no idea he was giving you this percentage. And I was like, listen, we saved your ass. It was we were not involved. The doors were closed. So let's not play that game. I was like, listen, buy me out. Just buy me out. End of the week. I'll make you a fair number. Just buy me out. So met with the lawyer, and the lawyer was like, you got to buy him out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I had a solid contract. It was bad. So he bought me out. So John and I ended up meeting with John's brother, Dave, who was a doctor, surgeon. And we brought the chef from the Mexican place, Dan, and we opened up Herd, which is a steak and fish house, which was awesome. I mean, it was great. It was a lot of fun. And then COVID happened.
Oh.
COVID didn't really, I mean, for me, it didn't kill it. When the 4 years were up on our lease, I was traveling a lot for murals. I was getting projects all over the country. So I spent probably 6 to 7 months in Texas alone, you know, in 2020. So the lease was coming up. I was spending less and less time at the restaurant. I was less and less interested in it. I loved it. It was fun, but now it was starting to become work, and I had no interest in that. I wanted my marketing and my mural business. That's what I love. That's what I'm passionate about. That's what I wake up for. So I went to my partners who were friends. I was like, guys, the lease is up. I'm going to give you my 25%. Because now I'm in this one, too. No money in, by the way. So 2 restaurants, no money in. I'm like, let me give you my 25%. I'm out. I don't want any money for it. I just want to move on. I want you guys to do well. So they're like, all right, cool. So I gave them my 25%. COVID hits, and I'm like, damn.
You got all right.
I'm not a religious guy. Like,
Yeah.
All right. So
Yeah, you got all right.
I got all right time. So they limped along for probably another 6-7 months, and then they just
killed
shop.
it.
Yeah.
You got out right in time, pal.
No.
Now, what was it about that made it take off? You know, looking back, I'm always interested in like, when was even like, that's why I asked you so many questions about the painting. Like, there's always something that hits. And
For
then
the restaurant?
Yeah, like what, like within the Herd,
Mm-hmm.
when you're doing it and it takes off, you know, when was that time period? Was it like 2018 when just something happened and then boom, you go on one day and it's just, bang,
It was weird like that, because I do remember when we first opened, we had like a slow opening, and then I remember one Saturday night, I would typically go in on a Friday or Saturday night and sort of manage the place, you know, maybe in the beginning weeknights as well, but I wasn't really necessarily an active owner. I went in for the good stuff and helped out when I could. But I remember this one Saturday night when we first opened, and like all of a sudden we were slammed, like movie slammed. And I looked around and I was like, what the hell? It was amazing. I was like, all these people are eating at our place. You know what I mean? So look, I think it had to do with the chef. The food was phenomenal. His steak and fish dishes were amazing. The plating was amazing. We did great at marketing. I mean, we went crazy with it. We did a lot of fun events that weren't necessarily money makers, but they were meant to market the business. We'd create like a scavenger hunt downtown where basically you buy in for a team, and you know, it would be like a 3-hour event where each team would have different color shirts. So hundreds of people are running around Main Street doing this scavenger hunt with herd shirts on, and they have to come back to the restaurant at the end and drink and get the results. Like, we would do fun stuff like that.
Oh, cool.
You know what I mean? Just really interactive, different things. And events like that would sell out within like a day. You know what I mean? Because everybody wanted to be in it.
And you had like lime green shirts, orange, so everybody could see.
Green, red, yellow.
Smart.
And everybody's like, what is going on downtown? Because they didn't even know. So you see all these groups of people crossing the street. Da, da, da. And then we would bring in people like Burt Young or Tony Dow. Anytime there's a celebrity, we'd bring them in. We'd make sure there were pictures. I had Wade Boggs do a paint night there one night. Literally, he taught the paint night with me. So now people are coming in, Boston and New York fans, because we're in Connecticut, and he's doing a paint night. I mean, it's crazy.
You only need one of those guys like every 3 months, and you'll be packed forever, right?
It was awesome.
Now, remember that night you just said when you walked in and you were like, what the hell is going on? What did you do like the week before that or the 2 weeks before that? What was it? There has to be something. Think, and I want to know.
I feel like it was the social media. Like, we
Yeah.
were super smart with how we put out our imagery in our social media. We were very careful, and we were able to, and I'm very good at making things look bigger than it is. And I just think there was that tipping point where, like, you look at these pictures and you just, you know, you just get so hungry for it, you know, and then the drinks. And I was good at doing food images, drink images, but also staff images. So it was always a smiley face, like close up, you know, like I would set up the pictures almost like I would do a painting, right? So I would just set it up where I knew the angle, where I wanted them, and it was interesting. And we worked hard at that. Clean,
everybody's happy.
but also you're smiling.
Fights, yeah.
You know?
And you're
good.
smiling like, hey, come on
Yeah.
in. I kind of thought it would be social media because, or just, you know, online in general.
But the
because-
idea is, Tommy, think about this. If I put up a picture of a staff every 3-4 pictures, when you walk in, you feel like you already know them, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or you've been there already, and now you go home and you look at the picture and like you do already know them. You're going to like it. So it's this thing that goes back and forth, which gets that algorithm going because they're going to like it or comment because they know the person and so on and so forth.
I was going to say, so I bet you hit the algorithm the week before. Like, it finally got really indexed and really into the algorithm. Then it popped up, and then everybody came.
And the email list, man.
And the email list,
We
yeah.
worked hard. So
As that's building.
everybody that came in, I got their email. And we would send out a newsletter religiously, you know, and
Yeah.
and it worked.
That makes the most sense, too.
Yeah.
Isn't that funny with the website stuff? It's all of a sudden. It
Yeah.
could be 3 months. It could be 9 months.
When it pops,
but
man.
when it pops, it pops.
You got to ride that wave, man.
You got to ride the wave.
Yeah.
I make them do a year contract
Yep.
with their lawyers, my lawyers, signed, witnessed, notarized, none of that. Because you know how it goes after 6 months if you're not on page 1 or whatever. Oh, no.
I describe it like this
1 year,
Yeah.
don't even talk to me.
for the SEO. So you're doing a lot
Yeah,
of the
because
SEO.
I can't, I know I can get it organically on
Yep.
one, but I don't know if it's going to be 3 months
need time.
or a year.
You need it.
And
And if it was easy, everybody would do it. So you need the time. It's got to be difficult because if it's hard to get there, it's hard to get bumped down.
You're going to die. You know what they're doing now?
What?
So when you see a Google ad, so say you go hire Joe Schmo down the street,
Yep.
and you type in whatever, your website or your name, they can code out the ad sign. So now you hire me to do your website. I slow walk it. You're on page 10 right now.
Yeah.
I slow walk you. I buy an ad, but I'm hiding the ad sign.
Right.
Now you're on page 8. Wow, Tommy's doing something.
Good.
Spend another 200. Now you're on page 6. We're 3 months in, 4 months in, 6 months. Gee, you're on page 1 at the very top.
Right.
But I bought Google Ads. I didn't do anything with my fingers.
Yeah.
But I hid the ad sign in the code.
How are you able to do that?
Go to inspector.
Yeah.
You could pull out the inspector, take it, put it in. I'll show you. It's complicated.
That's
but
crazy.
You could pull out the code, put it in SQL,
Dirty.
override the code, and put it back in, and there's no ad sign.
Unbelievable.
So then what happens is, oh, well, Patrick, you're on page 1. You don't need Tommy anymore. Sure, Patrick. No problem. It was great seeing you.
Yep.
Great being with you. I wish you the best. If you ever need us, let us know. 1 week later, you're on page 80. Hey, Tommy, what are you doing? Because you don't know any better. You think it just dropped. Hey, how are you, Pat? Tommy, I'm on page 80. I'm dying over here. Well,
I'll give you double.
come on back. But, you know, for me to get you back from page 80 to 1, you know, it's going to be a little bit more this time.
That's right.
And I need a year contract.
Yep.
But the whole time I'm not doing
No loyalty.
shit.
No loyalty.
And that's what they're doing.
It happens.
They did it to my friend.
It happens, man. Listen, I always tell people too, I'm like, listen, the work that we're going to put in, it may take 3-4 months for you to get whatever lead you need. But when you get that lead, it's going to pay for those 4 months plus the next 6 months. So you just got to stick and stay, make it pay. It works.
It pays for the next 5 years.
Right. It works,
really
man.
does.
It does. You just got to get them that one little pop.
What have you found with your team that is the most powerful offsite? So say you're trying to put somebody's website up or a YouTube channel or whatever it may be. We'll stick with website. What do you find is the most powerful social media website or platform to point at the website to get it more traction in the index?
Facebook is still huge.
Yeah.
It really is, man. I mean, Instagram's doing great when they changed the swipe up feature. Now everybody can do it. It definitely changed everything. I'd say, and it also depends on the fields because LinkedIn is powerful too.
Yeah,
LinkedIn is
powerful.
super powerful. That snuck out of nowhere. I really did. I mean, it's always been there, but it really has only been the last few years where I'm like, all right, LinkedIn is no joke. I'm not a big Twitter fan. I know it does have power. I get it. I'm just not a big Twitter fan.
I wasn't until Elon.
Yeah.
You can't not be. Do you like Elon?
He's a weird guy, man. Like
He's smart as fuck.
he's smart. Of course he
He's
is.
too smart. That's why he's little.
Yeah, he's a little kooky.
Yeah.
You know, when he starts going crazy on people like, Warren Buffett, and you're like, leave the old guy alone, man. Why are you fucking fight with Warren Buffett?
I think he does it
He's
just for
drinking
fun.
Coca-Colas in Wisconsin or wherever he is. Leave him alone.
He's probably so bored, building stuff that he
Right.
just wants to be normal
Yeah.
and just do something like a normal guy
Right.
would. You know what I mean? That's only
Talking
rational.
about interview the other day, he's like, I don't own anything. I don't even have a home. And I'm like, bullshit.
No, he
bro.
sold all his house.
I understand, but he lives somewhere. It's not like he's homeless. Like,
Yeah.
we don't have a home. We're homeless.
Yeah.
He's sleeping in nice hotels or something. I mean, he has rich friends he stays over. Like, he's not,
They keep saying he's the richest man in the world,
Yeah.
and by asset he is, but
Yeah.
liquid he's not.
Right.
He had to borrow to get to 46,
I get it.
which he's actually going to get it for probably 21 because they
My
inflated
Tesla
it.
now, man, it's real low. I've
Yeah.
been buying it like crazy. It's like 640 or 660 today.
Yeah, because they're worried about it.
Yeah.
It's swear by it. But the Tesla people, you're smart. The Tesla people are idiots because what do you think? Elon Musk didn't know that they inflated the followers.
Right.
He knew when he went to buy
He
that.
knows what's going on.
He knew that that should have been 20 billion less.
Yep.
So he played the card. No, I don't want the board.
Yeah.
No, I'm good.
Yeah.
And then wait, get everybody hyped up, hold.
And the board has to do it now.
They had 20
They had to do it.
SEC. And they don't care. SEC
Yep.
and IRS, they're not political.
No.
They are straight. Look,
Right.
you inflated this by 25%. Fine, Elon 21 billion, and Elon just goes all the way to the bank, and then Tesla shoots back up.
I can't wait to see what happens.
Yeah,
I'm curious.
It's going to be interesting.
It's going to be crazy. So I would say Facebook, Instagram are my two favorite. Probably Instagram mainly because I'm a visual guy. TikTok, huge.
Reddit is huge.
Reddit is huge. Yeah.
If you point that at a website,
I know.
I've never seen anything. When you get that R
Yeah.
and you get over 10,000 members, I've never seen anything pointed at a website that makes it take off in my life.
Do
Like
you go
that.
crazy with Reddit? Are you heavy into it? Because I'm not.
I'm heavy into it because I've never seen any other platform kick a site to be indexed
Yeah.
and tracked with the spiders quicker. It just takes a long. Their spider on Reddit.
Yeah.
Before we bore everybody with this complicated shit,
Yeah.
it's very, very slow.
Yeah.
Whereas YouTube, Google, it's
Yeah.
done in a day.
Yeah.
Reddit, it's slow as hell. When it's going through those lines of code,
But it's good.
It's good.
Yeah.
But when it hits and it points,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, websites.
Do you like Facebook and Instagram at all?
Yeah. That you're right. I mean, in my opinion, I agree with you. I just think, in my opinion, I think Reddit's the big. It has the most powerful just to get a
Because
website.
you're
up.
heavy with SEO, it seems.
Yeah, from SEO standpoint, I think Reddit and LinkedIn.
Yeah, LinkedIn's unbelievable.
Fucking, I didn't even know for
It's the
15
most
years I've been
boring
doing
site
this.
ever. It's
I was
so
like,
boring.
LinkedIn, wow. And Microsoft owns it.
I know. They're killing it, though.
I know.
But think about people who use LinkedIn. They kind of have money, too.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they're typically the business, corporate. They make money. They're more,
Yeah. Well, it's the same thing kind of like with Reddit. So the reason why it's considered so much power is because to get that R, you got to build karma.
Yep.
So some robot just can't go in and start posting.
Right.
So because it's human,
Yep.
when you point it at a website or Google, website, well, Google says, oh, wow, this is from Reddit. We know this guy's
Effort and
legit.
energy. It's good content.
And we know Reddit's legit.
Right.
Otherwise, you wouldn't have the R because somebody's got to post 5,000 times to get the R. Oh, we can sell ads.
So what do you do with a client with that? Do you actually...
I point,
Yeah.
I code it, and then I point the link to the website,
Mm-hmm.
in Reddit. So the link in Reddit is pointed toward their website. So
Yep.
now they have the Reddit power pointed.
Yep.
And then once they get up in Reddit, Google sees that.
Well, who's getting them up in Reddit?
I am.
You're actually doing the legwork?
Yeah, I'm doing the legwork.
Oof.
Yeah, I'm coding it.
Yeah.
It's a pain in the ass. But then once they get up and Google sees it, Google says, "Oh, I can sell ads
Yeah.
because this is legit." Like
Right.
LinkedIn.
Yep.
Because when you go to, if you want to connect with people, it's $1 gazillion to connect with people.
Yeah.
It's like $500 or some
Yeah.
nutty number.
Right.
But then if you pay it and you point LinkedIn as a paid customer at a
Yep.
website,
Right.
it shoots up because now Google again says a robot's not paying $500 a month,
Right.
right? You know,
Yeah.
it's just interesting.
Yeah.
You know?
No, I like that.
Yeah, it's
We'll have to talk more.
that
The
part.
SEO part, because that's something I sub out completely.
Yeah,
But it's crazy.
right. It's big, but I could see how it all lines up together. You know, like with
Yeah.
with the art, the murals, the social media. It's amazing, man.
I love it. It's
And
good.
the same foundation with everything.
Yeah, man. And it's and the whole process it's really about people. It's just meeting people, learning about people, enjoying people, having them like you. And if they like you, they're gonna hire you again. I was talking to some artist who's a phenomenal artist in Vermont. He was like, "How are you getting all these big projects?" I'm like, "It's gonna sound arrogant, but I'm a cool motherfucker. Like, be cool, be nice, be likable, be somebody that people want you to be around them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're just like a guy
Just
just would hang out at the bar and
Just
laugh
chill.
and joke. Yeah.
Enjoy, have a conversation. Don't worry about selling the product. They know what you do. They're gonna buy it. You know what I mean? Like, I don't go in there and talk about art. Like, I rarely talk about art. Funny thing, people are like, you like go to museums? I'm like, nope. They're like, who's your favorite artist? I'm like, me. I don't even know any art. I don't even know them. I don't care. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just chilling. I'm enjoying people and the social aspect of life. And when you do that with clients and you talk to them and you listen to them, you could have a conversation with a client for an hour and not say a word, and you're going to get off the phone and they're going to be like, that was the best conversation I ever had. You didn't even say anything. People want to be heard. They want to be learned. You know what I mean? So you learn about them. At the end of the day, they'll buy it.
You have a great philosophy and psychology of business.
It's sales.
Yeah.
I was doing door-to-door sales at like 15, man. Me and my buddy were walking up to doors trying to sell these restaurant coupons. You have 30 seconds for these people to like let you in the house. You know, it's Saturday. They don't want to see two schmucks like us come up to their door and sell them some garbage. You know what I mean? But we did it. We were banking. 15 years old, I was making like $100 cash a day, and I was thrilled.
I keep thinking Wolf of Wall Street
Yeah.
when he's in there making the cold calls and he goes out to the dude, Jonah Hill with the big white teeth. That's what I keep thinking when you talk about that. Yeah, they're like, here we go. And then they go do the crack.
Yeah. That was a great movie, man.
Yeah, you ever meet him? Leonardo?
So I was in LA, this has got to be 2 years ago too. And Jordan was doing a podcast at this guy, he owns this card shop. I forget what his name was. So me and Darren Prince were there, and he walked in, and I was like, it was like across the room. I'm not running over there. There was no need for me to, talk to him. But I was like, that's fucking Jordan. Wolf of Wall Street, man. I was like, that's crazy.
Smart dude.
Smart dude.
Smart dude. And then he goes to Australia.
Yeah.
He's in Australia. Oh, my God.
He's killing it now, though.
Killing
Social media was made for him.
Oh, yeah.
Like, this is a gold mine for him.
Gold mine for
Better
him.
than any market out there,
I read his book, Straight Line. It's called The Straight Line.
Was it good?
Yeah. It was really good. It was really like how to, almost what you're saying. Like you get a philosophy,
Yep.
network, pretty much what you said.
Yeah.
And it's really good. And he is smart. I mean, nobody can make that. Whether you're a drug dealer, you're completely illegal, whatever it is, it doesn't matter.
Right.
You have to know what you're doing to make money.
You do. And you have to genuinely like the experience. Like, we're built like human lie detectors. So if I come in here and I just robotically ask you about yourself, you're going to feel that, man. You're going to feel that lack of energy, and you're going to be like this. But I genuinely want to know about you and you and you. I think it's interesting because we're all built with our little sort of universe, you know what I mean? And people feel that, and then they want to be around you again. You know what I mean? They want that energy around.
You're 100% right.
So
Now, what does Patrick do when the metaverse hits? Because the Spider-Man is already in the metaverse.
I know.
Do you know that?
I know.
Spider-Man is.
Yeah, because the Spider-Man, you can go in the metaverse right now, and you can play around with 8 different Spider-Mans from 8 different times. And they have, do you know the Spider-Man makes them make one Spider-Man a year to keep Spider-Man?
Really?
Yeah, so I forget, a Marvel, I believe, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I forget who produces the actual production, but whoever it is, they have to make one Spider-Man a year. And they missed one, and then they moved Spider-Man over into the Marvel comics, It was like Spider-Man, whatever.
It's like, isn't it Marvel and Sony or something like that?
Sony.
And there's
That's
different.
what it
One
is.
has the rights for merchandise. One has it
Yeah.
for the movies, and like it's a weird.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's Sony. You're right. Absolutely right. And Sony wants to, whatever production company it is, one Spider-Man a year.
Yep.
That's why they keep switching them up
Right.
like that.
They gotta
also
keep
hang
it
out-
going.
You can also hang out with Snoop Dogg in the metaverse.
I know he's got a little house out
Yeah,
there.
you can just hang out with Snoop.
I'm learning about it, man. Like I invest in it, and you know, I think I'm more into the NFTs right now than the metaverse, but I'm trying to get into it and get more involved. There's just so much, man. Like I started with the crypto. I dumped a ton of cash in that. I lost a ton of cash. I made some and I lost it.
I
You
would
know what
advise you to run.
Yeah, bro. I mean, I think I have like $1,600 in crypto now. That was a big number at one point, man. I was like,
I'm
I
sure
am
it was.
loaded, and then I was like,
These people, all these people come in, they try to, no.
rug pulls left
Absolutely
and right,
not.
rug pull. So then I got in the NFTs and I started doing those, and I made some money off that. That was fun.
How about the NFTs? Now, as a genuine artist like yourself, what do you think about this NFT shit?
I feel like
It took me 7 guys in here to figure it out what the hell it is, and I still don't really know other than it's just a bunch of
it's a digital
paintings
asset.
together that you sell that the money's in the air that is paid for by, and
Right, and
there's
it's on
no
your phone.
copyright issues.
Yeah, it's it, man. It's a digital version.
I mean, aren't the copyright issues going to hit at some point?
I don't know, man. The problem with the crypto world and that world in general is there
Fuck
are no regulations. So like these crypto guys are out there rug pulling and just burning people left and right. There's nothing anybody can do. There's no regulations right now.
So we had this guy in, right?
Yeah.
Patrick, no. Listen to me. I think the fucker's a CIA agent. I said it to his face. I told him, I think he is.
What'd he
Okay? And what he said about this is that the reason why they're not, like the IRS isn't taxing Bitcoin, the
Yeah.
crypto, this, that, the other, is because like the miners, and then this goes also to the marijuana. Like federally, it's Schedule 1.
Right.
But state by state, you can go buy it.
Yeah.
So he says, right, Rob? Well, I know this guy. He knows every guy that ever lived on the planet, I guess. So this guy that he knows told him that what they're doing is, for crypto, let's say, they're letting guys like me and you, I don't mess with it, pretend I did, figure it all out. All the problems, all the mistakes, perfected.
Yeah.
Then the IRS comes in and says, hey, you made $1 million. We're not going to hit you on the 39, 40% bracket, but we're going to grandfather you, and you're going to pay 15% on what you made. And now, for the rest of your life, maybe it's $100 a month payment,
Right.
but they're going to get their money.
Yeah.
And they're going to do the same with the weed.
Scary, bro.
So all these guys with the weed, you don't think the IRS is
It's
coming?
scary.
No. The IRS is letting all the planters and the growers figure it all out, or, the DEA, I guess, or the government. You figure it all out. You do all the hard work,
Right.
how to plant it, where to plant it, and when you have it perfect, then we're going to come in, and all you guys that figured it out and spent all your money with the lobbyists to get them to say, 20% for the rest of your life you're going to pay back on those millions you made. And you know they're going to do it.
It's brutal. It's too crazy right now. It's
crazy.
too crazy.
And no regulation. I mean,
So crypto, NFTs, metaverse, I want to speak intelligently, not only from the social media marketing company, but as an artist, I want to have an NFT so I always seem like I'm cutting edge. I look a little taller. At the end of the day, I'd rather have something physical,
Yeah.
Yeah.
in my hands. I mean,
That's
for me to
how I
have a
am.
picture of this and show it to you, like, who gives a shit? You know what I mean? Like,
Well, wasn't that why the reasoning why over the past year that like the baseball card have just gone through the roof, the prices? Because like they were saying, like with the NFTs and everything, people really want that physical form of something.
so I'm into vintage basketball cards.
Yeah.
So I've got like a Jordan rookie PSA 9, a Bird Magic PSA 9.
you got the index, the upper deck, Jordan.
I have the Fleer.
The Fleer, I mean.
86
Yeah,
Fleer,
me
yeah.
too.
Man,
I have it
no
too, yeah.
shit.
I steal the card shows all the time.
I love it.
You have it on the screw down? In the screw down
No,
plan?
man, it gets ruined. If you have it screwed down, bro, it flattens it, then it's altered. You'll get a lower grade.
Oh, fuck.
Take it out. You got in the screw
I
down?
got a screw down.
You should buy some
I got
crypto.
Griffin a screw down. I wanted, what's his name, but I couldn't afford him.
Dude, I have a Will
Lou-
Chamberlain action
You
shot.
got a Will Chamberlain?
I have the 4 in a regular, but then I have his rookie action shot, and there's like only 30 of them out there. Like, it's crazy. I like it, but I don't want to have a picture of it. I want the goddamn
Yeah,
card.
it's damn
Card.
Yeah, and if I want to sell it, I like to have some physical cash. I don't want you to give it to me in this up here.
Yeah, like in some
Right,
error that
yeah.
that tomorrow cannot be there.
Bitcoin that I got to sell, get miners fees to sell it.
Oh no, it's Ethereum today.
Ethereum, that's
Or
right.
douche
So,
next day. Why would he name that douche?
It's amazing.
I guess it's a douchebag. I don't know.
So I like the physical too. I'm rolling with it. I don't know, man. I do think in the future, though, I think they're onto something. I think this is going to evolve into something very different. It's almost like, the video game started with Atari with the one joystick, and then all of a sudden now you have metaverse. Like, I think the payments are going to go in the blockchain. I think it's going to make sense in the future. And I think the metaverse is too. Like, imagine if you want to be a doctor and you want to learn, you could literally go into a different world when they get to that level and operate on people and have, serious situations come up. Because if you get on those Oculus, you go on the rooftop in an Oculus, you feel scared. You're on the floor. It's not real. I was walking a plank and I was sweating. I was getting nervous. So I think there are going to be applications that come about that make sense. What we're doing right now is we're just having a little fun.
Yeah, and even from the perspective of like a basketball game, you can sell an infinite amount of courtside seats.
Hell yeah. So
if you don't want to be in L.A., Philly, you can sit at your house and be courtside and have the same,
Amazing, right?
It's crazy.
And, I mean, that's what it's going to come to.
But what are you going to do? You're going to go around and buy land in this metaverse and that one? And
Fuck all that.
I got it, bro. It's too much. I can't.
Yeah.
I focus on what I'm good at.
Yeah.
I try to diverse as best as I can. But at the end of the day, I know how to do this, and I'm really good at it, and it works. Yep. And that may be a dinosaur thought process, but I'm going to stick and stay for now.
I'm with you. I'm not into this NFT thing, metaverse. No, I've never even seen it. I just read about it just to be up to date. I know it's coming because they got the metaverse and then they got the multiverse. So the metaverse is Facebook, obviously, because of Meta.
So how do you know which one to buy? Where am I supposed to buy land? Over here?
Well, like the movie, that shit. Yeah. I got fooled on that one. Me and him. You too. You got fooled too, buddy. Don't play that game. This guy came in. We didn't know. And we pulled up this earth.co. And it was like all this land. And it was like you could buy like a little spot in China, a little spot here. And I'm really, I don't know this stuff. I have no interest in fake shit. Or things I can't.
Well, what are you going to do? Now you're going to go home and sit on your land and I don't even know what you do with it, to be honest with you.
I guess what you do is like you buy land a part of China. Yeah. Right? Okay. So this is you get enough people in there and somebody has a restaurant here.
Right.
Okay. Well, everybody would want the bar next to the restaurant or something. Or there's a nightclub and then like an after hours bar.
It hurts, bro.
So then you would go by the bar and then everybody wants the after hours bar next to the bar so everybody goes to it. And if you get enough people, now they're all bidding on it and blowing up this spot of land. I'm seeing this and I think that this is a real piece of land. Right? And I'm thinking $3K. 5K, maybe one day I'll go out there and build something. And I actually went home and looked. Dude, it had like it was like the stock market going across the bottom.
I'm thinking about buying land
you ever
in
see
Japan.
this?
I'm like, oh shit, really? And it's
you're like, let me get in on
land.
You guys ever see this shit?
Land. Like,
pull up EarthCo.
Yep.
I'm telling. Look, if I didn't tell you what I just told you, Patrick, you got it scrolling like you're watching the stock.
Do you still have it?
Hell no, I didn't buy anything.
Oh, you caught it?
Yeah, I caught
Quick enough?
Yeah. Well, you know what stopped me? When it said Coinbase or whatever.
Right.
I was like, nope.
Yeah.
But even at the Coinbase part, I thought it was real.
Right.
It's earth.co. I'll never forget that.
It's coming up something different now.
Oh, it is? Or just to put it in Google. But they would have it. I went home. I'm like, hey, I'm going to get... L.A. looks good. I used to go to L.A. all the time, stay at the Hilton right there, go over to the Staples Center. Oh, wow, $300.
That's crazy. I can get a piece of property right next to the Staples Center.
And I'm thinking, I was paying $750 a night for a shack across from the Staples Center, or $1,000 a night. They might have taken it down.
Oh, that's on YouTube.
I don't know where they might have.
I don't remember where it was.
Yeah,
it might be. I think this is it. This is it right here.
Yeah, this is it here.
This is it. So this was
Yeah. Now.
Yeah, this was it.
Okay, go to the marketplace.
It's all up here. You see it scrolling across the top?
Okay,
oh my God.
Patrick, give me a little bit here. You see that?
Yeah.
Okay, so now tell me if you didn't know anything about this at all, you're just thinking maybe this, and you didn't read the 3D
Like the
part.
world looks a little weird, but I think it's legit. I didn't
read the thread.
I mean, it looks like a pair of Tesla.
They just put the 3D shit in now. That wasn't there before.
All right, so this is what you're looking at.
Right. So now I'm here. Go to marketplace up there, left. Right next to, yep. Okay, so you could put in like, all right, so I'm like, whatever, can you pull that up? So you can, it says buy, view. Yeah. So view one of them, Rob. And look, you got the 99.9%, all this crap.
We're going to go to France. Is this France?
Yeah. And then you can see the physical place. For sale.
It's amazing.
Buy or bid. You see this?
Yeah. And then you could build
$100.
build some.
I think I would. I think when I saw the price, I would have like, you know what I mean?
And I'm just thinking, well, maybe it's new. You know, it's not out yet.
I was like, I'm thinking about getting land in Japan. I'm like, oh, that's awesome.
You know, maybe maybe there's a war going on in there, and I don't know about it. I'm not going there anytime soon. It's an investment. After they blow it up and level it, well, now it's leveled. I don't have to level it to build.
It's a whole. Yeah.
Well, listen, man. So my thought is, all right, so this has got to, I don't know. You buy the land, you build a house, a bar, whatever you do. Like, what are you going to do? Like, you're going to sit in there and I don't even know what you do with it. Like, I don't have time.
Well, I guess the hedge bet is, well, let's just say
people are doing stuff in this world, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
buying stuff and building stuff, right?
Well, it's like Mindspace or Minecraft, that video game.
Yeah.
It's what this generation
My kid
does.
loved it, but he also didn't have a job. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he hadn't met girls yet. He was young.
Right.
Well, now
You know.
you'll be able to have like
Well, the guys that are doing this don't have girls and probably don't have a job.
Right.
Because they'll just get a check in about 6 months for whatever. But the guys that working, I didn't get an inflation check or whatever.
No.
They told me I was. They said pre-approved. They said approved and then denied. And then I go talk to some schmuck that doesn't work and he gets 100 G's. What the fuck?
But is he happy, Tommy?
Fuck,
Is he
man.
happy?
I hope not. What, Rob?
I was saying you'll have a virtual girlfriend and then probably a robot that will come over and do whatever you
What a
need.
disaster.
Whatever you need
Oh,
done.
yeah.
What a
I
disaster.
mean, that's
Oh, Patrick will love this one. We always say this. You know that's going to happen. In the newspaper,
Of
by a
course.
chick, she comes
Yeah.
over. Hey, Harry, Patrick, you haven't shaved your belly in a month. You're about 30 pounds heavier with those Budweisers and them nut huggers. You look great. You look, you didn't take a shower in 5 days. You know what, Patrick? I think you smell great
Thank you,
after
baby.
6 days.
We're close on the Jets
Yeah.
right there, man. We're right
And
there.
then you say, baby, fight with me. I want you to get mad at me. F you, Patrick. Let's go in the sack. I mean, this shit's really
Of
coming.
course. Of course. But look at this is the world we're going to. I don't want to do it. I'm old school.
I don't want to either.
I like people.
I like people. I like go-getters.
Yeah. That's it.
I don't like all this shit. Like everybody gets a trophy. How do you feel about that?
I think it's dumb.
Kills
Well,
innovation.
here's the thing. I talked to my I have a daughter and 2 sons, and they're great. Awesome.
Congratulations.
Awesome. Thank you.
Had my first daughter.
How old?
She's 1 year, 7 months.
You have a 1. Oh my God. Right.
Anything 4 feet and above, gone.
Yeah.
I was warned many times, did not listen, and looking for stuff all the time.
You were right in the beginning, man.
Oh, thank you for reminding me as if I didn't know.
Yeah, you look tired now.
Oh, yeah?
Now you don't.
Oh, thanks for rubbing it in.
I feel a little tired of you. I know why you're rocking the 9 monsters today.
Yeah.
My kids are, so I grew up in Middletown, Connecticut, and I went to an all-boys high school for the first couple of years, and I loved it. I loved the experience because, you know, even my cousin lived with us, you know what I mean? Like, we just busted each other's balls. Thick skin, man. You just keep hammering each other, you know what I mean? It's a different day and age. Like, my boys are good, and they got great senses of humor, and my daughters as well, but there's a line that I can't necessarily cross or it becomes offensive, and I don't, you know, it's kind of like a Chevy Chase with his humor. It's like an 80s humor. It's dry and dark, and some people don't get it. It's offensive. It's kind of like, it's a little soft. I mean, listen, there should be a first, second, and third into nothing, because how else are you going to have a fire to do better? You know what I mean? If everybody gets an award, why do I have to work hard to be the best runner or basketball player or drawer or anything like that? There should be awards for it, I think.
There's no innovation.
Right.
Innovation if you just give.
Motivation.
Right? Motivation,
Yeah.
anything, and
Yeah.
nothing gets made, you know?
Totally, man. So there's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah, that's why this guy, he was talking about, his name is Ryan Alfred, right?
Yeah.
And his father died.
Yeah.
When he was 18, and he got obsessed with space-time. And Sam McInnes, you know how it is? Sam McInnes is a really, really big forensic scientist, space scientist, all this. And him and this kid, they're like super smart. This is real. This isn't conspiracy shit.
Yeah.
They've been actively trying to build a time machine.
Okay.
And I believe in time it will happen.
Right.
So Sam McInnes in his like literature, his writings, whenever they are able to develop a time machine, it would happen from that day on.
Yep.
So if it was developed today, you couldn't go back past today. It would
Right.
only be today.
Got it.
But you could go in the future.
Mm-hmm.
Well, then that would like kill everything, because then you could just run to the future and invade it now.
Of course.
But these are the things that are coming
Right.
that just the world
It's
will
cool.
not survive.
No, man. Listen, we got AI coming around the corner.
Well, I don't even think we'll make it past them, let alone a
Think about
time
it.
machine.
You go to McDonald's at the airport, you're not even ordering to a person. There's a screen.
Yeah.
Boop, boop. You know what I mean? Like jobs are going to be depleted. I mean,
It all evolves, man.
yeah, we're Matrix.
Yeah, we're
Running
Matrix.
into the Matrix.
And we're right about that
My
point.
friend is he's convinced that we are a simulation right now, and I'm like, if we're a simulation, man, then whoever's playing my character is fucking up because I'm like, I should be doing way better than I am.
Yeah,
You know
but
what
if
I mean?
it's simulation, you're in another simulation too.
It's too much. I
And
can't.
dimensions, yeah, you'll get all.
I would be a little taller.
Don't put me down this fucking rabbit hole.
we'll
I
be
read
here
too much. No, I got real into it for a while there. It's really interesting to me.
It is interesting, but if you start, like, if I go down the rabbit hole, this is a simulation, then why am I going to care? Do you know what I mean? Doesn't really matter then. You know what I mean?
But you say, why would you care? But you'll go back to work and everything else and not even think about it and then just be like, yeah, maybe it is.
Maybe
But you have but other people will go crazy
Right.
if they knew.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, society.
I actually like my life, so I'm enjoying it.
So what do you see going forward? Like, what's your goals? You got the celebrities, you got the clientele, you made it.
Yep.
From nothing, you made it. So what's the next project? What's the next evolution in your career?
So now I'm working hard towards coming up with compositions for large-scale murals for buildings that I think are really interesting, that I hope the public thinks are really interesting, and I want to come out with a coffee table book. It's a simple thing I want to do, but even a simple coffee table book, to have the right work to go into it means I have to do the right projects on buildings. So I need 6 to 8 more like amazing buildings to fill that and get that done. So that's my goal.
And then when you do commercial,
Mm-hmm.
when you say commercial, elaborate on commercial.
Commercial building. So
An entire building. Wow.
Mhm. Yeah, I specialize in them. I love it. It's my favorite thing in the world. Like, it's, to me, if you like to read or whatever you like to do, let's say you get this great book. When you get done with it, you're like, oh, I'm fucking done. It was awesome. You know what I mean? Like, now there's nothing left. That's how I feel. I get on these buildings, I put in my little music. You know what I mean? I'm on a lift with a bucket. I'm driving up and down the building with my paint, creating something awesome, and it's great. There's no better place. The wind's out, the sun's coming down, people are coming up, they're watching you, they're loving it, they're asking questions. Like, it's probably the most positive experience you could have.
And therapy too. It sounds like natural therapy.
Totally.
The best therapy
It's
possible,
awesome.
right?
My mother actually said that when I was 18. She's like, it's like therapy doing art. I'm like, yeah, you're right. It is, though, because you're with yourself to a certain extent, and you're thinking, and you're doing something positive, creative. You're stepping back. It's awesome.
Kind of like with me with the coding, because you have to be so art. You can't mess up.
Right.
One thing you might have to do the whole project over again.
Yeah.
And you got at your career now, you don't have that.
I
If you mess up, you got to be that quick fix that nobody knows about.
Holiday.
And my thing, if I hit one line wrong, the whole site goes down.
And then you got to find it, though, right?
And then I got to. Oh yeah, because they change every time. Yeah, there's a gazillion
So
lines.
you create this code, and you create something out of it. How's that feeling when you're done?
Good, but I want to shoot myself when I'm done because it's 2,000-3,000 lines, and you're looking for the 80 that you can change that are moved constantly by an update.
I don't know how you do it.
It's nuts. But for me, it takes me away from all the bullshit in life because I'm like this. I have horse. What are those things horses wear? Horse blinders.
Blinders?
Yeah, fucking blinders. That was the word I was looking for.
Yeah, that was good.
A simple word like
That's how you
blinders.
got there.
Yeah, I got there.
Those fucking horses.
Yeah. But, it's like this. So then all this other crap around.
Yeah.
And I would imagine what you do like that would be the same
Yeah,
way.
it's nice, man. You're focused.
And then when you get back, I bet you could be better to your family and your kids and everything
Yeah,
else.
they call it a hyper focus, right?
Is that what the word is?
So if you're doing your coding and you're so into it, like literally nothing else matters. So if I'm painting, I could have a brand new pair of jeans on that maybe cost a lot of money, and I won't even care if I get paint on it because it's not important compared to what I'm doing right. I'm so hyper focused. This is the most important thing to me in that moment. And when you get that hyper focus and you can get rid of that noise and erase it all, I mean, that's kind of blissful,
I stopped drinking coffee in the morning, but more than once, and this is why I stopped. I would bump it or something, and it would fall on my leg, burning hot.
Right.
But I'm in the middle of a line where I can't stop. I don't stop. And on very expensive jeans, always white ones. Always white Page jeans that are hard to get. Page, you could sleep in. They're so
I'm wearing Page right now.
All right, so am I.
Bro, these jeans, they feel like sweatpants.
Talk to me about Page. Me too.
I just found out about them.
This part's
Yeah.
podcast sponsored by Paige.
Fuck yeah, hey.
It's amazing.
You can sleep in these.
Yeah, they're so comfortable.
They tell you to wash them 2 times a year.
All right, guys, come on now. We got to get paid for this.
That's true.
No, they really are comfortable.
They are. I've actually not met somebody who wears them other than you.
Yeah,
I just started rocking them, and I dig them.
we're the lucky ones.
Did you guys set this up? Was this set up? You guys got an advertisement?
You
for
need
page?
to be organic. Man. Let it flow. Let it flow.
Yeah,
Can
but
you
I
put
would.
up the page ad right now?
But it'll always be on a white paper page,
What's-
and then I'd have to look to find them because they would never have my size.
What's like the biggest, like when you're doing a mural on a building, right? Like factors that you might not think about that like can either delay it, or temperature, weather, right? I guess rain and.
So when I started the second project I did in Texas, it was Frisco, Texas, and I got hired by this guy named Donnie Churchman. He's a developer out there. He's doing amazing things, and I wasn't thinking, so I booked the project in July, not even thinking about the weather in Texas. I go out there, I start the project. And I get up super early, so I start at like 8 in the morning, and I got my lift and my paint, and it's fucking hot, like it's super hot, like it's like kind of gross hot, like you can't, you know what I mean? Like I'm drinking water, and I can't even drink it fast enough. I would dip my paintbrush in the can, and when I pulled it out, it would be dry before I touched the wall. So I was like, all right, this is not good. Like I'm not even exaggerating. Like it was crazy. So I actually found that if I started after 2 o'clock in the afternoon, the sun was just starting to go over the building, and I would buy maybe, 30 to 60 seconds of that paint being wet. But I would have to work faster than normal because of that heat, and that was probably my biggest challenge. Yeah.
Now, have you ever had a deadline when it was raining?
Always, man. So you factor in. So if I do a project, I may book it for 30 days knowing I could do it in 20. You got to factor it in because that rain comes out of nowhere. In every exterior, it's like that. When I was doing, I think it was the Brooklyn 12-story, I think we lost probably 2 weeks because of rain over the whole period of time.
What about like birds and stuff?
Good question. Yeah.
On buildings.
Birds are okay. Birds are fine. It's the rain. It's the heat.
Wind.
Wind's okay. I mean, I would get these tents to cover the sun on the ground, and wind would sometimes blow them away. But it's diet and water too, man. It's like eating correctly and drinking because you're out there on that lift all day, and you don't want to get down, man. So, and you want to feel light, so you don't want to be bogged down eating this heavy food. Like I'm really strict now when I do murals. I eat super clean. I don't drink alcohol. You know what I mean? Like not like back in the day when I'm painting the mural, because I want to wake up fresh with the mind clear and kill it. Not that I don't ever drink, but now I try to keep it straight.
Not while you're doing the mural, right?
Listen, sometimes you go to these towns, man, and the towns are amazing. They invite you in, and you end up going out and eating at night and drinking and the next day you're like, I shouldn't have done that. a little bit slower, a little more.
You gotta take a drive down to Wynwood one day.
Yeah,
it's like an hour and a half from here, and there's murals on the buildings. It's like I told you, artsy. Yeah, I tried to do it in West Palm too, but you gotta check that out.
Yeah, I do want to check that out. It sounds awesome. It's
cool.
awesome. It's fun. I mean, like the way I look at it is when I was a kid, I was driving through Wesleyan College with my parents, and there were these little murals on these windows, and I saw them, and I was like, I want to do that someday. So my hope is my murals are inspiring some kid to want to become an artist. And then from a marketing standpoint, exterior murals, there's nothing better. If you look at the buildings I do, doesn't matter if it's 2 stories or 12 stories, I write my name up the side of the building at Patrick Ganino. That's my signature. I used to sign a crazy signature. Now block letters, P-A-T, with the @ sign before it, and I get work from it.
Use Fat Frank font.
What?
You can't. The font is actually called Fat Frank.
Is it really?
Yeah, it is so blocked and bold.
You cannot mistake
you can't miss it
for anything.
I promise you, they won't miss it.
Yeah.
Pull up his Instagram. You got some cool stuff on Instagram that isn't on your website. Oh, you got it up. Okay, scroll down a little bit. You want to talk about any of these, Patrick? You got some cool.
So that's
stuff
a fun one. So that's Chevy Chase.
Chevy Chase, the man.
With Freddie, man. You got that was so funny. He comes up and
oh my god,
Robert England,
wow,
super nice guy, and he's like, give me some silverware, and he pretended to do the little hand knife, and that was fun. That was a good night.
That's so cool.
That was in Pittsburgh a couple of weeks ago, actually.
How old did you say he was now?
78.
He's still got. He still looks like he's 100%.
Super funny.
Oh my god, it's from
Doc.
Yeah, Doc Brown.
Yeah. Doc from Back to the Future.
Yeah,
it is.
Dude.
So
Christopher
Lloyd.
Christopher Lloyd.
So I just done a mural of Back to the Future mural.
Back to the Future 1 and 2.
It's like my favorite movie.
Favorite movie. I just watched it again the other day. I love it. We went to an event for a friend of ours, and they had a mock-up of the Back to the Future car there.
Wow,
awesome.
It was
DeLorean.
absolutely
Yeah.
identical.
He looks good, actually.
Well,
Yeah,
he's looked his age his whole life.
Yeah.
He's never aged. He's looked old forever.
Yeah.
He was the best. He was the
Yeah,
best.
that's wild.
So we keep going. Snow sculptures. I do those with my kids every year.
Oh,
So
that's
we-
cool.
We just kind of go crazy. You can. I think there's a few of them in there if you want to look at them.
Yeah, you even had the turtle, whatever you call them on their skin.
Yeah.
Oh,
I know you're an artist.
You'd have to do sand.
Look at the
sculptures down
dog.
there. Snoop.
Snoopy.
Yeah. So we would go crazy with that.
That's so
It's
cool.
always fun.
What was their favorite one? Snoopy?
That was the first one. Yeah, that was cool. There's Bill Murray and Chevy. I had a breakfast with them, which was amazing. That was like a.
Bill Murray.
That was a crazy moment.
Bill Murray.
He's super funny.
Funny as hell.
Yeah.
There's magic.
Yep.
Magic. That was a good one. I've done a bunch of things.
Super nice guy, right?
One of the nicest. Genuinely nice. Super friendly.
Oh, that's cool.
And what's he got? He's got the Dodgers. He's got all kinds of stuff going
He's
on.
an
He is a mogul, man.
What else did he buy? He bought something else. I forget.
Doesn't he own like a soccer team too?
Yeah.
And I think he's a part. I think he's part owner of a basketball team. I'm not sure.
I think some type of restaurant too.
Is that a pumpkin?
Yeah, yeah. So we do pumpkins every year too with the kids.
Wow, that's a wild pumpkin.
That is wild.
It's a little hardcore.
Looks real. Wow. All right, now I know who to call next Thanksgiving.
Yeah, damn,
for
I
mess
need you to
with the
come
kids.
do my pumpkin for me this year.
I only have to buy one bag of candy with that pumpkin at my front door. save a couple $100 with Patrick.
All right, keep going down. I'll show you a cool one actually if you want. Let's keep going. There's a Back to the Future one though.
Where's that?
Right there.
Oh, click on that to the right.
Right. So all of this is life size. The car is life size. The
Oh,
people.
wow.
There's another picture of it down lower if you want. If you get out of there.
Yeah.
Uh,
What'd you like better, Back to the Future 1 or 2?
They're so different, man. I mean, one's always a classic, but two is cool because you have that both. You know.
Is that Willie Nelson?
Yeah. So if you go down the middle one, Willie Nelson, you'll see the time lapse I do. Go ahead, click on that. So this is a 2-hour painting.
2-hour painting.
2 hours.
Yep.
Wow, this is so cool to watch. And if you're listening, this is Patrick flying through this.
So what's that you just did? You threw like
Do a wash, like a sepia wash. So what happens if you do that wash over the white, when I paint over it, there aren't going to be any like white breaks if I miss a spot with the paint. It always looks filled in, and it marries the colors together.
Wow.
And that's it.
2 hours.
2 hours, Patrick?
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Man,
I
nobody-
can't,
nobody
I can't,
can do
I
it.
can't draw that.
nobody could do that, man. Is there anybody else that you know they could do that in 2
I'm
hours?
sure
2 weeks.
Is there anybody you know that could do that in 2 hours?
there are.
At that accuracy?
I know a couple people. They don't really do this style. They're more into like the Renaissance style or things like that. But there's like a couple artists there, like Sean Crosby, Pascal and Ballard. But they don't do necessarily this kind of commercial work. So it's a different
That's
it's
awesome.
a different beast, you know.
Absolutely amazing.
If you scroll down, you see there's that's the building right there. See with the heart?
Up, yep.
That's the one where in Frisco where the paint was just drying.
Got you.
And this is me just kind of talking
Talking about it.
You can get out of that. There's a better picture of it if you want. There's Gronk.
What is he, 6'7"?
He's a big dude.
It's tall.
His whole family, they're all animals, man. They're all just big.
Monsters. And he takes hits left and right. He plays injured. That's a man right there.
Yeah. You meet some of these athletes, and you are like, that's a man. Like, just their size in general, you're like, they're just built, you know?
When I first met A-Rod, Alex Rodriguez, his back,
Right?
so big. And everybody says he took all the shit. Listen, he didn't take nearly what the other people
Right.
did.
He was big to begin.
Yes, his back is like this naturally.
Yeah.
That little bit of stuff he took
Yeah.
was just a little something.
Yeah.
They just hated him because he
Big,
was
man.
going huge.
There's Doc.
Doc.
Yeah, that's cool. I like that. And that was this another video?
That's a little video of it.
Yeah, play that. That's so cool. Turn up the sound.
There's the grid.
Oh, yeah.
There's the grid on the paper, numbered, right? So there's your little numbers.
Yeah, that's what I would do.
I see how you do it. Fuck. It's amazing work, man.
Thanks, brother.
Now, how long did the car itself take to paint that?
4 or 5 days. That one I took my time.
That looks exactly like Doc, too.
And you did this on what building? I'm sorry.
This is the Ford building in Frisco, Texas. It's 2 businesses in there: Bittersweet Ivy, a boutique, and then Karma Fitness. So what we do is when we do these murals on walls, is a donated one, the tiger one. It makes it a landmark, right? It makes it a landmark within the town.
Oh wow.
That's actually my son Carter on the right.
Oh, that is so cool,
Try to
man.
pop them in when I can. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
A little cred. Keep going down. There's a. You know what? Keep going down. This one's cool. All right, that one right there. Down, bottom right.
Oh,
That's a fun one if you like the time lapse.
Yeah, I do.
where's the volume?
I'm always amazed to see this. Like, holy shit.
So this is another 2 to 3 hour one.
It's just amazing. You can do all that accurate in 2 to 3 hours.
Well, this is one where he passed away, and I was like, I'm gonna bang out a quick mural. So I did it that night, popped it up, and it did well.
Now, is the paint killer? Is that really expensive paint?
It's all house paint, man.
Really?
There's some paint I use that's expensive, and it's made by Golden. It's a slow drying acrylic, and I'll use that for more fine stuff. But if I'm doing buildings, Sherwin-Williams house paint. So I could do a 4-story building, and it's going to cost me a few $100s to paint it.
But the labor and your time,
and
risking your life sometimes up there a little bit,
Yeah, that's what I'm getting paid for. I'm getting paid to do something nobody else can do. That's it. That was a fun one.
I'm sure that was, yeah.
That's cool.
Perfect. How did you get Jordan's face that perfect?
Can't mess it up, man. It's Jordan,
Well, you didn't mess it up. You gave him a bigger shoulder. He might have worked out a little bit more that day.
That's cool.
And
now
that's a charitable work. See that apple? That's for Lyman Orchards, and that they donated like $30K to Connecticut Cancer Foundation.
That's awesome.
See other lifestyles down there?
Yeah.
You get an idea of how big it is.
And that's like 3Ds looking like you're like
called Trump Loy, so it means to deceive the eye. So I make it look like the building goes in.
So that Tommy, that's what they do down. What month is that?
What's that?
Down the road here, they do it.
Oh, they did it last month.
The chalk festival. So they paint.
So that's called anamorphic. So that's when you paint it down and it looks like it's
like you're gonna go into lava and down steps.
Yeah.
They do a whole.
That's called anamorphic. So if you want a can, you'd have to paint the can, and it's like 40 feet long, and then when you look at it, it's like. Boop.
Yeah, they do the sidewalk.
Yeah,
thing. It's so cool.
It's crazy.
So not this year, but last year or the year before, they come out with chalk.
Yeah,
like killer artists.
Right.
And it's right over here, and they close the street down.
Yep.
The whole street kills traffic around here. It's a nightmare. And they take chalk and they paint like really good.
Yeah.
2 years ago, it poured.
I'm not doing that, man.
Yeah, I wouldn't either.
What do you do? That's
you got to be out of
crazy.
your mind. And they covered it and stuff, but when it pours in Florida and it blows,
right.
Good night.
I'm not doing that, man.
These guys flew from all over the world for this.
That's passion and love.
Yeah.
I love what I do, but not that much.
You're not going to go in and do
get paid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because if you draw it and it rains, nobody's going to buy anything you have. And
That's when I'm like this. I'm out.
Yeah, real quick.
I gave it a try. I got to go.
Yeah. Oh, you painted those Jordans too?
Yeah.
Shit.
That was for a friend of mine, Chris Volo.
Tyson boxing glove.
So, you know what? Go down one a little bit. That one. Click the Tyson bottom right.
Bottom right.
There you'll see some nice detail. This will be a good one.
You had the stupidest verse, let's do this the truth. Now everybody giving them guess.
Yeah, that is detail. Even his tooth. If you're listening to this, you can see his tooth. The tattoo's perfect.
So if you go, all right, click out of this, and you'll hear him talk about it. Go that left above Chevy, left top.
Okay.
Yeah, put on the sound on that one.
So when Mike Tyson asks you to paint a mural of him with horns, there's only one thing you can do.
Paint it.
So I painted it. I shipped it out to my friend Nancy Hadley in California so she can stretch it for me. And I jumped on a plane and flew from east to west coast.
Golly.
There's nothing better than seeing the reaction on someone's face when you show them their mural for the first time. It's absolutely amazing.
I think they did a great job in this picture. I've never seen anything like this. It was really scary. The eyes look real. Great job. Thank you.
So cool.
Super nice guy.
And the most amazing thing to me about that, he asked you to do that off the cuff.
I know.
It's not like you had time to really, process it off the cuff, and it's perfect.
He was real high, man.
What was the hard?
He was real high.
Out of all them you've done,
Yeah.
what was the either most difficult or hardest one for you? I know this is what you do, but was the one that was like, man, this was challenging. It was tough. Maybe took a little bit out of you. I know you did a lot. I've done a lot, so I know that.
Yeah.
Anyone that really was like, man, this is more challenging than I thought it might have been.
I think when a challenge comes, I mean, the TV shows were all a challenge just because of the time constraints.
Yeah.
Outside of that, I mean, the challenge comes typically from outside sources, not the project itself. So the project itself, I mean, give me something to paint, I can paint it. You know, architecture is harder than a portrait because it has to be exact, right? Straight lines and so on and so forth. So there's different things that are easier and different things that are harder. But usually the difficulty in this comes from what you're doing in your personal life, whether you have sleep because of kids or finances, or somebody passes away, or you have to go to a kid's wrestling match but you're supposed to finish this job. Like, that's when it becomes difficult. The projects itself, man, I mean,
Really,
I don't feel.
All right, funnest one then, or
Most fun?
yeah, one you really enjoyed.
All right, go scroll down. Keep going.
Now, while he finds that, Patrick, tell me how you manage your time with kids and you're not in the doghouse 24 hours, 7 days a week.
I have
A very understanding person in your life. I mean, you got any tips for a guy over across from you?
Listen, man, you have to be superhuman, or your Uncle Dad. It's your choice. You know what I mean? Like, I have an unlimited amount of energy, and
Is that from the movie?
Yeah.
Lady Gaga and
Yeah.
oh my god.
Oh, let me see that.
That's my wife.
I'll tell you, she can sing. I don't know what she was doing on Epstein Island, but she can sing. I don't care what she does. She can sing.
I like that.
You got to have an understanding woman, and you got to be able to multitask. So if I'm at an event, I can still do emails, make phone calls. I'm 70% present.
But so that you'll constantly call home wherever you're at.
That one right there.
Right here?
That's one of my, to the right. That is one of my favorites.
Oh, wow.
And see if you can scroll through. There should be other images in there. Look at the details. These are all
that
people
looks legit
that I
real,
know.
like a picture, like a photo. Wow.
This is the mural that was at Herd Restaurant.
Wow.
So I was able to do a mural for
That looks
myself.
like a goddamn photo. That like
Yeah, like if I would just glance at that, you're right. I would think there was people there.
So the point was, whenever we took a picture in the bar,
Make
it
it
always looked busy. So let's get out of that, and I'll show you the other one. It should be very close.
very good move, Patrick.
Scroll
Very
down a
good
little
move.
bit. Keep going.
Did Stallone know that Hulk was going to be choking him?
He loved it.
Did he? Stallone loved it?
No, Hulk loved it.
I'm sure
Hulk's
he did.
had me do a bunch of them. All right, we're almost there. Keep going.
You got the guy from Rocky.
It's Charlie. Sheen is Hulk again.
Sheen.
Magic. Russell Simmons.
Hogan's biceps are huge.
Keep going.
27th inch pythons.
All right, that one right there. See Metro Movies in the middle?
Yeah.
Go ahead and click on that. This is probably my favorite.
Oh, shit.
8 portraits all the way across. 21 days.
And how long did this take?
That took 21 days. By the end, I was doing a portrait every 3 days.
Oh my god, look at that.
Wow. You got a lot of practice in, huh?
Yeah, I love it though, man. That's my daughter, my son, my other son's in it, their mother, Allie.
Now, when you pull that down and you take the kids and your wife there, what do they say? I mean,
They love it. They love
and you just got to be like,
I mean, I'm just cool, like it's no big deal.
yeah. But deep down, you're
No, I'm like, look at you, man.
yeah, yeah.
Like it? Give me some respect. This is right on Route 9 in Middletown, so
That is
a
awesome.
million people pass it a year. I mean, it gets a lot of views.
Fantastic.
And there are all the people that were in it.
That is
That's
so cool.
So that's probably one of the most fun I've had on a project.
Go back to Patrick's webpage and all the charities you do. I really want to point that out because that's a great thing you're doing. So go to charity, and then you have the CT Cancer Foundation.
Yep.
And that's with, who are you doing that with?
Jane Ellis and John Ellis. John actually just passed from cancer a
Did
month
he?
ago. Yeah, Jane, great family. That's the main one that I donate to. That's the one where they get the majority of my energy and effort because I love what they do. I've created a great relationship with them, and they do phenomenal. So that's my big one.
And then Teed Off Lime.
Yeah, but it's a small one that I did a
Outline.
one-off. MJ Petretto, I've done a bunch for. Rosie O'Donnell, I did one for live at the event. Canvas Peace Project, I've done a bunch for.
And what was the Canvas Peace Project?
We'll go up a little bit, actually. I'm even more important than that. If you go to, so the Rosie O'Donnell one, this is what changed.
Rosie O'Donnell?
Yep, that, and I do Connecticut Cancer, same thing. But this is what kind of changed my business. And the advice I give to most artists out there, I'm like, listen, who's your audience, right? So I go to charities where they're doing $200 to $500 plate dinners, and I donate my time to do a live painting that they can auction off, right? I don't get paid anything. They keep the money. But now you have the ability to be around 2, 3, 4, 500 people that have money, expendable money. So I tell these artists, make sure you go do stuff like that. And they don't, sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. But that has been my bread and butter for years. I mean, you're getting in front of like literally your core audience right there.
Core audience.
Yeah.
And they bring you on stage, they auction it off. Like, you can't get a better commercial for yourself than doing that. And you're painting it live at the event. So everybody's coming by there. I mean, you're getting noticed.
And they're there to buy something.
They're there to buy something. So that painting right there, I did in, I don't know, 2 hours, went for $18,000.
Wow.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
But you work hard, though. It's not like we know where that went. Believe me.
So, yeah, different things like that. I mean,
And then you got the Go Pink.
yeah,
That's cool.
Cancer,
Yeah.
Junior League of Hartford. They were
Quick
all-
one out, Junior League of Hartford. That's pretty cool what you did there,
So
Patrick.
that's my son when he was a little kid. And I love that painting.
Yeah, that is so
That
cool.
was a fun one.
So you as a painter, you can keep the memories. You know, as they grow older, because you're so talented with that, you can paint.
So I describe it like it's a moment in time. When I
Yeah.
do painting, it's a snapshot, man. You know what I
Memory.
mean? Yeah, totally. And I would say in 90% of my paintings, if you go back to my Instagram, I'll show you another one. It's fun. It's a family portrait. If you go up just a little ways, keep going. Right there on the right side. And you'll see the guy sitting over there. See my cousin Mike. There he is up there behind my father.
Oh, yeah.
My way, Mike.
No, not at all. I have a copy.
So this is a moment in time. My father's since passed, you know. My cousin's gotten a divorce from his wife. You know, like there's
Oh,
people that
wow.
just don't, you know what I mean? But this is a moment in time which I love, and it's amazing to me.
That really is. So if somebody hired you and they had their grandfather that passed away, their father, their mother, you could put them all back in time together.
I can't. It really depends. Most likely I can.
It's possible.
If you come up with horrible photos,
Right, like,
there's only so much. I'm a copy machine. There's only so much. I can
Like a
do.
Polaroid?
Right. I'm like,
What's the story behind this one? I know, of course,
Yeah, I want to know that too. I keep
Yeah,
seeing her, and now I want
What's
to
the
know.
story behind this?
Other than hello.
I know. She's a super nice girl. Her name's Rachel. So there's an event called Salon, and it's where decorative painters get together, and they go to one location.
I hope you'll
every-
still be allowed to go after this. You might have just fucking cock blocked him on this one.
Yeah.
I'm just joking. I'm just kidding. Just kidding.
So it was for this event, and I wanted to listen. There's nothing more beautiful than a woman's body. You got New York City there. It was actually going to be in New York City, so I wanted to do something that was going to catch attention, and it did catch attention. And I do all my own photo shoots, so it's I'm very serious about how I work.
I would assume that would catch attention because I've seen it
Yeah.
about 5 times, and
Yeah.
if he didn't say it and I saw it again, I was going to say it. And if none of us said it, I was going to tell Mike to say it.
That's cool stuff, though, man.
That's it.
I'm really, really happy to do that charity thing. I love to see that.
Yeah. Listen, I wanted to do that for a long time, but I had a girl work for me about 15, 16 years ago, and she was broke, and she's like, I want to go build mud huts in Africa. I was like, listen, you practically live in a mud hut. Go make your money first, and then you can help people out. You know what I mean? So,
Sorry.
listen, it is what it is. I didn't want to give to charities if I couldn't give to myself. So I had to get to a certain point because now I could do it stress-free for the right intentions. I'm not bugging out, and I love it. It makes me happy. It's a win-win.
What was the first big press release that you saw? That was like, whoa, I'm really in there? Pull up his press releases.
I think the Daily News in New York. I mean, I'd been in the newspaper, dozens of times prior, but local press in Connecticut. When I was in the Daily, I think it was the Daily News. I was like, whoa,
Yeah, I saw you in the Daily
that's
News.
kind of cool, man.
Yeah, you get in the Daily News,
Yeah.
the Times, the Post.
Yeah.
They're all
And the
huge.
TV shows were amazing. The Dave Faraday Show, Bar Rescue, Kitchen Nightmares. When you start getting those, like you're like, all right, that's kind of cool.
It's so funny how that networking just worked perfect.
Yeah.
And that's all it is with business. It really is.
Everything. It's
I
everything.
had an engineering firm. It doesn't matter now because I got sick of it.
Yeah.
And the reason why the channel is called MSCS is because I had an engineering firm called MSCS Engineering.
Nice.
I got a structural engineer off of Craigslist. He built Miami University, was bored, probably wanted to get away from his wife.
Right.
You get
Typical.
bored, right?
Yeah.
So now I signed him on. Now I can see all the building permits. So there's a place over here called the Breakers,
Yeah.
and I had already known that they used a company called ACS.
Mm-hmm.
So like you, I called them. I have the building plans right here.
Right.
Hey, this is MSCS Engineering. We worked on the Breakers in 2008. I'm in Pennsylvania.
Right.
Getting in trouble. Fucking God knows what I'm doing,
Yeah.
man. Yeah, we were there in 06, 04, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, yeah, we've been looking. We lost our database. Next thing you know, we redid their restaurant over
That's
there.
all it is, though, man.
It's all bullshit.
That's all it is. My sons, they needed a job, so I got them a job with one of my clients. I go, here's the deal. I can get you the job, but you got to keep the job.
yeah.
You know what I mean? But it is what it is.
And they were happy. They didn't
were
care.
happy.
And later, and after it was all done and they were happy, I go, I'm not the company. And they just laughed, because the work was done right.
Doesn't matter.
So
You
it
did
didn't
it
matter.
right.
Now, if it fell over the next day, I'd have a problem
But
and a lawsuit.
I'd be like, I don't know.
I bet Patrick can you paint some shit out. Put a vig on me. It's all right.
But it is important. That network is huge.
So
It's the Daily News.
this is just some of the press. If you Google Patrick, there's a lot more. But there's the Daily News. Back up a little bit because I used to read the Rob Report.
So that was Judge Judy's project. Connecticut under 40 was a great honor for me, obviously. I snuck in. I
Hometown.
think I was 39 and a half. I mean, I was right there. So
Yeah, it's saying like the top people from Connecticut under 40,
yeah,
right?
it was awesome. It was good. It was good.
Design New Jersey, decorating
Ideas was a big one because I was country home. Hartford Magazine, Home Living Connecticut. They're all good. I mean, I don't have all the newspaper ones in here because it didn't make much sense. They look better like this.
Yeah.
And it was like, to be honest with you, I need to update this. I don't think I've updated my media page in forever. I always get made fun of because I have a social media company and I don't really do anything for my website.
Right.
I don't really need to. I
And
should.
right, and I'm on every social media platform,
Right.
just putting up links to my shit. But my website I update whenever I remember to update
Right,
it.
right. You're busy actually doing it. It's like the shoemaker has no shoes, right?
Yeah.
So
Real quick, go to Patrick's work and go to the commercial.
what's a fun one? Land cheese is a fun one.
Yeah, click on land cheese. That's a lot of. I don't know how I would word that.
So this one right here is on canvas. It's 2 strips of canvas.
That looks hard as hell.
It wasn't bad. I mean, 2 strips of canvas installed, and this is where math comes in. And I forgot that day about the math, but I did it in 2 strips, top and bottom. I had the wallpaper installer install the bottom, install the top, and I realized I was 6 inches short on the top. So I had to basically have it joint compounded to be smooth, so the canvas is the same level as the wall, and then I had to paint it in so it looks like it was always there.
Patrick, do you know how many times I tried to draw a square that looks like you can go in it?
Yeah.
And I'm 40 and still can't draw a square. That's why when I looked at that, I said, that has to be hard as hell. No, it's nothing. I can do it with my eyes closed. I can't even draw a square that you can see through. You know, in high school, everybody can but me.
Of course. We're going to work on that after.
I had my
Grab the-
girlfriend in
yeah,
high
we're
school do it so I could show my friends that I wasn't a schmuck.
So see the Eli cannons? That's not a complicated one, but that's a fun one to me because of the concept. You know what I mean? It's just a simple concept. People standing on each other's backs, and it was just kind of fun.
And you come up with that concept yourself?
Yeah.
Holy hell.
Here's the pictures I took for it. Then I Photoshop them together and go from there.
That's cool.
Website's impressive how you break that down,
Right.
Patrick. And then go to his shop.
I don't even know what I have in the shop anymore.
And do you still have brushes?
So the brushes are through my friend Pierre Finkelstein, fauxbrushes.com. They're amazing brushes. And it's just probably a link to him, and I get like a little fee. But I do more to promote him.
You use them too?
I love them.
Okay.
They're amazing.
We'll definitely have that link in the description. And you have...
Oh, these are the paintings for sale. Okay.
These are still all for sale?
Yep, they're all for sale.
And just to let you know, I've seen a lot of other painters like Patrick, and this is a good price.
Yeah, it's a really fair
These
price.
are not out of control prices.
You know what it is,
at all.
man? They're all rolled up. These are like the Hulk Hogan one. I did 2 of them, so I have one signed. You know what I mean? So there's, he's got his, I got mine. They're rolled up, and I'm like, the other day, someone was like, you should just sell them, and I was like, all right, they're rolled up. I don't do anything with them.
Yeah.
So let's try to sell
I
them.
love that Rodman one.
That one is awesome.
That's
yeah.
fun.
And right there, right here.
Is your Dennis Rodman signed
Right
ball?
here.
There it is.
Yep.
Thank you so much, Patrick.
Yeah, of
you didn't
course.
have to do that.
Nah,
man.
pleasure.
You got a good heart, man. I
Yeah, of
appreciate
course.
it. Your friend's he's a really nice guy. Really nice dude. No, he really is.
He is. He's a great guy. You kidding? All right, so then you got the these are all different things that were just signed by celebrities when I was with them, like Tyson.
Signed Tyson.
I went there that day with a glove, just a glove, had him sign, and then I painted around it because I was like, I got to get something for the
that
studio.
sounds
You know what I mean?
Yeah. So you got Tyson.
The record's awesome.
You got Gronk for sale.
Yep.
That is cool. The record.
Oh, I'll tell you what, that Rocky painting, man.
I love that one.
That makes you Incredible Hulk.
Got the original Wade Boggs.
Original Wade Boggs.
He's still around. Is he still alive?
Yeah, he's in Tampa.
Is he?
Funny guy, man.
Yeah.
Super nice guy. Yeah.
Wade Boggs.
Yeah.
If you're listening to this, go to his website and look at what he's got for sale. It's good.
Nice.
That right there.
That's my favorite.
That's a kill.
So I put that at $12K because I don't even really want to sell it. You got to.
And you got all the signatures. You got
All
Hulk, Burt Young,
You know how
and
hard that is?
Oof.
Uncle Paulie.
I'll
Love
tell you
it.
what, that would be 30 anywhere else.
Yeah.
30 at minimum.
We're getting Burt Young on here, pal.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Uncle Paulie, man. Got to.
Uncle Paulie.
He's a great guy. You ever do a non-remote? Do they have to be here?
I'll pay for it
Okay.
because when I do it like Zoom,
Yeah.
because you see how we sound,
Yeah,
it doesn't match.
I know.
And then they're on the screen.
I get it.
And the quality just
Not the
sucks.
same.
We'll get him over here.
Yeah,
Get him
I'll
in
pay
here
whatever.
Before 11.
Yeah, yeah, no problem,
All right.
no problem. Because the quality just doesn't
I get it.
match.
I get it. Totally.
But Patrick, you're an interesting person, man. You're killing it.
Man. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thanks for having me on here. This is fun.
Anything else you got coming up? Anything you want to promote? I mean, we'll have everything in the
This
description.
is a rotating door, man. It never ends. I mean, there's project after project. So, to talk about one would be insane. I mean, they just keep coming. So this is a great season. We got a bunch of buildings coming up, a bunch of in-house projects, and it's going to be fun.
When are you moving to Florida with me and your boy?
I was talking to my cousin Mike today. I was like, I got to get out of Connecticut.
Right, he's got to get the hell out of there.
Cold, bro. I can't do it
It's
anymore. man.
cold. It's
cold.
cloudy.
Yes.
Think, right? Just think about this.
I know.
Just think about this. It's cold. It's cold. It's cloudy. It's dreary.
Yeah.
Think how better your art would be.
I'm already happier.
Well,
Just for one day here. The sun's
See?
out. It's warm.
Hey, listen, when West Palm builds that new thing we were talking about before we got on here,
Then you get me.
get them down here. They're going to build a Wynwood here.
yeah. By the time that's done, it will be $20 million for a 2-bedroom.
Yeah, but
You better come now while it's only $1 million for a
Like,
1-bedroom.
He's going to paint it. He's going to paint it. We're going to be good.
Oh, maybe if you paint it.
Work for food.
Yeah.
We'll work
I
from
say
home.
we as in we're doing it. Yeah,
You get a little
he's
piece,
doing
man.
it.
You set it off. It's fine.
No, we want his ass down here so he's in here all the time.
Correct.
So I can ask him 200 more questions he probably doesn't want to fucking answer right now.
Yeah,
gotta-
I will be moving soon though.
It's dreary as
My
hell.
7, when he goes to college, I'm out.
What are we talking, a year? 2 years?
year.
One more year.
Good year, bro.
Is the rest of the family okay with it?
There'll be somewhere else.
Hey, get your ass down here.
That's right.
Look, you'll perfect things better.
Yeah, I mean,
Better mood,
about
get
the
some
mind
vitamin
frame.
D.
Yeah.
You go to the
I gotta
beach.
do this. I gotta keep my spirits up.
Yeah, you got to go to the beach. It's good all the time.
Yeah.
Huh? Sweat a little bit more, maybe. I don't know if you want to go up on top of a building, in midsummer.
I know.
You'll go with him? Oh, he said he'll go with you up there.
He's in.
I'll have ice at the bottom for you.
Little monster.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, to dehydrate you more so it kills you. All right, Patrick, man, I had a good time. Make sure you come back, brother.
of course, man. Thanks, man.
Thank you. Thank you, man. Great meeting you.